don't see everyone. How's everyone doing? It's been so long. That subathon was cray cray. Am I right? Cray cray. Who says that? That's so cringe. Wish is my command. Won't you understand? You definitely don't seem drunk saying that. I feel like I'm drunk without being drunk, if that makes sense. Like drinking is nice sometimes, but overrated. Maybe not. I don't know. If anyone would like to join this Gartic phone game, join this link below. Drinking, yes. Bro, this doesn't stay on my head. You got, oh. I don't know. I feel the need to repeat everything you say. No worries, no worries. Oh, we only got 3 people. It just sounds so funny to my opinion. Honestly, it sounds funny to American ears too, so I understand. Or Peruvian ears too. Jessica was saying yesterday or the day before, he was like, yo, you always say such random stuff. You remind me of my friend. Jimmy with the first. Good shit, Chimmy. Bro, Chimmy, can you give me 1 bit so I could get excited? I wanna see that 1 bit. Please. When you have a chance, of course. Just wanna get that excitement. Alright, we got 3 people in the game. 4 people is needed at least. It looks like the person from before, Marta, left. So, yeah. Whew. Yo, thanks for the bit, bro. Thanks for the follow, corpse. Yo, Moog, thanks for the bit. Oh my god. This is the link if you'd like to join corpse. Did I get another bit? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Y'all just pumped me up for those 12 seconds added. Yo, Moog, thanks for the 3rd bit. I was drinking my lemonade and almost spit it out because ping. What did I do? Hello there. Bro, Clear Bright, thanks for the 2 bits, bro. I needed to follow so I could show I'm not a troll. Appreciate it, corpse. Oh my god, chat going off. Yo, Moog, thanks for the bit, bro. I need to energize myself, so. This was the 3rd one. That's too much. You shouldn't spend anymore. If anyone wants to join some Gartic, though, here's some Gartic phone. Clear, thank you so much for the bit. You know what would be funny? If there's like 12 seconds left and you guys just keep spamming bits. Yo, thanks for the 16 bits. And it adds 6 seconds on. My mind is gonna explode. I can't respond to that, Moog. How you doing, Clear? How you doing, everyone? We are close. Thanks for 20 bits and 17 bits. Damn, bro. That's crazy. The timer. I hope the timer is working and going up. 39 bits. That's too much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, it is. The timer is going up. Yo, thank you for the 11 bits, Moog. Thanks for the 5 bits. Oh my god, we almost got a hype train. All right, we got 4 people. I'll wait a little longer to see if anyone else wants to join, and then we'll start. You're out of bits for now? You're out of bits now? No worries. Bro, thanks for the gifted sub, bro. Appreciate it. Oh. I thought we were going to end soon, but I appreciate it. I mean, I don't mind. We're going to keep going. That's right. Let me go get my guitar. That's right. Look at these muscles. Okay, muscles, you could go away now. 2 month subathon. Here we go. Oh no 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 no. I always do the same goddamn chord. Thank you for the sub, clear bright. Thank you for the bits, Moog and clear bright. Yeah. I don't think we missed anything there, right? Okay. If anyone else wants to join Gartic, you're more than welcome to. I will give 10 seconds left. This is the link. And we will start. Thanks for the applause, Moog. Wait, I think... Did someone else give me bits too? No, no one else did. Okay, good. Oh, Chimmy did. Chimmy get the 1 bits that he started it off. And Chimmy... My bad. And Chimmy... Alright, let's start. Let's play some... Icebreaker. Yo, thanks for the bit, bro! How you doing? Do you have work today? Also, how are you doing, Sam? I think I saw you come in a bit earlier, yeah? How y'all doing? Phone answers. Lol, you asked for it. I did. I did. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh yeah, I just drank whiskey. Whiskey! I'm gonna drink a little more. Later. Whiskey eating pink. When I heard a sound. I'm pink, for those that don't know. Draw a Pokemon, but give them long limbs. Oh, I can't draw Pokemon. You know what? I'm imagining a Pokemon in my head right now. And if I draw this beautifully... Wait. Then I'm proud of myself. Okay, it's already looking pretty bad. There we go. I'm really trying hard for this one. Bro, we got this. We freaking got this. But yeah, how are y'all doing today? How's the life going? What the hell is that? Alright, let's try again. What am I doing? My god, this is so much worse than it is in my head. Alright, you guys will know what it is, though. Let's go. Does he have long... I don't know. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, I could imagine it in my head. He has like that. Long limbs, we'll make it like that. But only his arms. Because fuck the rest of his body. There we go. Boom, that's beautiful. I imagined it in my head and everything. Yeah. I think I could make it a little better, but... Okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Wait, boom, boom, boom. What's this feeling on a hole in the ceiling? Wait, no. I gotta fix this. Boom. Bada bing, boom. It's beautiful. Oh. Drop my controller. What's this feeling on a hole in the ceiling? I don't know why there's a question being asked, but I will draw the answer. Like that. Okay, that looks like a penis, but it is not. I promise. It's too big to be a penis. What? What? Alright, that's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious what that is. Just gonna make it a little bit nicer here. Boom. Nice. What do we do? What pepperoni? People eat pepperoni, right? Isn't there white cheese on pizza sometimes? Bro, this looks so bad. Why is it always better in my head? That's what she said? I don't know. Like even this looks better. As if there is no red sauce. Do I need to add anything else? Like, oh, now I'm hungry for pizza. God damn it. I don't like that. Ooh. That kind of looked cool. It looked more like pizza without the red. Right? This looks more like pizza. But how do you see the sauce? I don't know. I think this is the best I could do. I don't know how it's pizza, bro. This is hard. For some dumbo like me. If anyone wants to join next game, you're more than welcome to. And here's the link. It's drawing time. By the way, we played on we played the drawing. We made some more shirts. I don't. Ow! Ah. I just hit my own foot on my chair. Throw some pepperoni. I can, bro. I'm Jewish. It said, "What's my favorite food?" It's pizza without pepperoni. I like cheese, bro. So I'm gonna just add more cheese. Yeah, no one sees that cheese. No. all right. This one I'll do better. Okay, we're gonna make my face. Okay. We're gonna make my headset. Let's go. Can't even lie, that looks good. We're gonna color it. Hell yeah. We're gonna draw. I like that. And I'm bald, so we gotta get Avatar in there. There we go. That looks so bad. All right, and then we got boop. Jesus. We'll go here. Phone. Selfie. Gonna draw an apple. That does not look like an apple. Fuck it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, and then we go here. Horizontal mode. Oh, and then I could draw myself. I'm a genius, guys. Why can't you rotate the stuff you draw? It's so dumb. All right, there we go. And I draw myself here, like. Damn it, this is hard. I'm not gonna draw myself here. Just get like a. I guess it's a blue background. And the phone is like gray, cause why not? And then I'm gonna draw myself. Boom. There we go. That looks good. Oh no! Why does it look? Oh my god. There we go. No. There we go. Okay, that. No, I should have drawn the chair. Shit. That's the chair. Let's go. All right, let's see. We got whiskey eating pink ping. Let's see what you guys got. Jeez, that's a lot of blood in that whiskey. There's a lot of blood in that cup. It's like Clear is here. Ah, just kidding. Sorry, Clear. Wait, this is really cool, but oh, is that me? Yo, corpse. Mad nice, bro. Mad nice. We download all of them and put them on the Discord, by the way, so. It's alien mouth whiskey. A selfie. No, times 3. What the hell? A selfie. I feel like mine is actually closest to looking like a selfie. This is a mad good drawing. But like what the hell? Is that how you take selfies, bro? Shit. This is pretty good actually. That was supposed to be stomach eating it. It's alien mouth whiskey eating you from inside. I was thinking it was my stomach. I was like, why would it be my stomach? But that makes sense. What do you mean by alien mouth though? What's your favorite food? Oh, it's an alien mouth that's eating it. Was that ice cream? That actually looks sick, bro. Mine is so dumb. French fries? French fries are not yeah, because these are scary, right? The forgot what they're called. Thanks for the follow, Nahuel Games. Here is the link. Let's look at corpse. Draw a Pokemon, but give them long limbs. That's so good. Because my profile picture is Pokemon. Guys, do you know what Pokemon this is supposed to be? Smiley fries, yes. We were talking about smiley fries the other day, I remember. That's why. Moog is like, those smiley fries. Wait, Moog drew that? Wait, Rosie, you drew ice cream? Or no, that was your prompt. Oh, okay. And Moog drew the smiley fries. Alright. Ooh, Caterpillar. Nice. Yo, Roserade. Or Roselia. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we add all of them to the Discord. Just letting you guys know. If you ever want to save them or like look back at it, the memories. We have quite a bit already. Hopefully Discord could handle all of them. Add to quickly Google worm Pokemon. Nah, that looked like Caterpie. So pretty good, Moog. Alright. This is a link once again. If anyone else wants to join, we got 4 people. Nahuel Games can join as well, of course, if you would like to. And we'll give you some time, guys. Na 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 Masugu. We shall give you some time. What are we doing after? After Gartic? After Gartic? I want to go on Twitch and see what other Twitch streamers are doing and chill with them, see what they're doing, you know? So like Jimmy offered to play Battleship earlier, maybe I play Battleship with him. Or like if Liam is down to play some game together. Or Gerardo is going to do an IRL stream, maybe we could check it out. Or we just look for a new streamer. Pasa Codigo. Oh, there's a lot of Spanish speakers now, yeah? Alright, it looks like we got us 4. A great mix of people. So let's do animation. We didn't do animation today. I know not everyone's into it, but the other side. Oh wait, this is an animation. I gotta think about this one. This is gonna be a short animation, but should be good. Take it on. Take it on. Smile. It's gonna look creepy if it comes out. Smile. That looks like mustache. But it's not. It's not Hitler's mustache. It's a smile. Smile grows. Simple. Easy. Beautiful. Smile grows. Paper cup. What's up, Timmy? 2 hours indeed. Finally. It's coming to an end. Well, it was less than 2 hours. It's we got gifted a sub and a bunch of bits. Now we're back at 2 hours. I'm talking in the Discord if anyone wants to join, by the way. But yeah, 8 days straight. Computer, lights, subathon. I think next maybe we do one once a year, like Jared does. But I think next year, hopefully we're bigger streamers and we could and we'll make it 1 hour instead of 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes per sub or something. Birthday? What's birthday? It's your birthday tomorrow? Oh, you're saying on my next birthday we should do another subathon on my birthday? Yeah, that might be better actually. The only thing for birthdays is that like family comes over and stuff. Birthday subathon, yeah. So I could do it, but it would have to be like around my birthday. Actually, that's what this subathon was gonna be. Late May. My birthday is early May, but yeah, it ended up being a little later than you expected. Yo, what is that? Rasengan or energy ball? I love that. I wish I could draw well and not screw it. I'm gonna try so hard to not screw this up. Goku. Oh, yeah, let's still keep the smile like that. There we go. Oh. I love this. Oh my god. Real artists are in town. And he has the energy ball. Oh. The energy ball is like a ball of energy. But even more than that, it's like... Oopsies. I meant to do this. Like this, and then the highlighter is like that. Oh, that was bad. Come on, Pink. Don't screw it up. Like everything else you screw up in life. Damn. So mean. Okay. Wait, this should be... Actually, I guess it's getting bigger, but... I guess it should be... The ball should become bigger, but I kind of screwed it up already. Oh, he had... Didn't he have some blue up here or something? I don't remember. Throw... Oh, someone has a notepad, bro. I'm writing with my computer. For real, Goku. That actually doesn't look bad. Maybe I should add some. I won't add it. I like this. This could turn out good. More blood, wider eyes. Jesus. Jesus. I love how it has the pink ew will things on the side over here. I wanna feel, I wanna feel. I think it said more blood and what else? I think it just said, oh no, wrong color. Was it just more blood? I wanna heal, I wanna feel. Jesus. Somewhere I belong. Alright, let's get this in here. Alright. Come on. I'm so bad at this. All right. Now we gotta get the white. There we go. Feel, I wanna feel. This is hard, but I'm trying. Trying my bestest. Timmy, you wanna play next game? If you still here. We got one here. I gotta write the note for more blood also. Somewhere I belong. Somewhere I belong. Somewhere I belong. Oh, this looks kind of bad. Jesus. Wider eyes. Oh shit, I forgot the wider eyes. Sorry, this was hard for me to do fast. More blood. Wider. No. No. I almost finished. Swing face left. What the hell? Y'all are crazy, bro. How the hell am I supposed to swing face left, bro? I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna make it down. I'm not good enough for this shit. I'm sorry. Why is the next song not playing? Bro, why are they not available sometimes? It's so frustrating. Okay. This is the last picture, so it's okay if it doesn't move too much, I think. Because I'm a screw up. Pog. Oh my god, there's so much detail in this. I kind of put his face down, but oh, it's so hard without a thing. Pog, 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 pog. P A W G. Did everyone write that? And Jesus Christ. I really hope I'm not screwing it up too much. That was mad work. Oh, I kind of copied it okay. Let me fix the pog. The pog is terrible. Oh my god. How do you do that? All right. I don't have much time left. Oh, that looks so much better. All right, that looks so much better. Wait, the P is PP. Let's go. Let's go. Looks pretty good. Looks are deceiving. I don't know. Oh, Liam is multiversing. Ooh, Bosa is playing Valorant though. Okay. Let's start. Ping Pong Masters album. Smile Grows. Let's see what you guys got. This should be an easy one. I feel like I butchered this so much. I feel like I butchered some as well. Smile Grows even more. Why'd you use a different, why'd you use a thicker thing? Oh, Corpse is a beast. Oh, that actually looks good. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. Alright, let's see what's next. Oh, that's a cute dog. Hey. Swing face left. I don't know what I did. I just tried to draw him. That kind of looks good. That looks pretty good. You guys drew this so well. All right, let's see what Rosie got. Widen eyes, blood. Jesus. I didn't think you would do this one, Rosie. You crazy. More blood, wider eyes. Oh, this should look good. Everyone did it. Jesus. Gosh. Yeah, you did well. Welcome back, Dino. Welcome back, Dino. Oh, I forgot the blue shadow here. That's what I forgot. Shit. Throw ball. I think I did it well otherwise, though. Nice. Ooh. This might look cool. That looks so good. It was only 4 of us, but it looks really good. I like that. The blue eyes, they disappeared. Yeah, I'm dumb. I was like, there was blue somewhere. Where was it? I didn't want to screw it up, so I just didn't put it. Sumimasen. Damn, look at those hours. Ima itsumo. They're closed, probably. Oh, I see. It still had the energy of the spirit bomb, you know? All right, let's do one last one. Janelle, you missed out. It was the blue hue from the energy ball. That was really good, Corpse. Do you have a drawing tablet? I need to get a drawing tablet or something. Not only for this game, but just to make like cool merch with chat or new emotes. I feel like, and for Gartic, for all that stuff, you know. All right, we got these 4 uploaded. How do you enjoy animation? It's because I'm not a good drawer. So copying what other people do and trying to like make it something cool together is really cool for me. You do have a drawing tablet? Nice. I never miss out? Nice. Animation's so painful. I like it. Sandwich, start writing and keep drawing until the end. Sandwich is... I remember Sandwich and Secret being very annoying. That's why we don't really play them. And speedrun too, because you gotta wait a long time usually. Links. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Here's the link if you'd like to join. Background is animation, but with a background. You make a fixed background and then you animate on that background every turn after. Thanks for the follow, Sonic Lucian YouTube. Oh, we got a YouTuber here. Very cool. Solo is solo. Score is kind of sucky. The best ones I would say are like normal, icebreaker, animation, background, compliment, knockoff. Knockoff is pretty good. Knockoff is funny. It's very stressful though. You gotta replicate what the person before did. Yeah, I vote knockoff. What do you guys want to play? Lynx joins, very cool. I like TKO. TKO is nice. It's just everyone can't join, that's why. We could play that later. Anything but animation. Background? Background is basically animation though. Anything but background and animation. Alright, let's go knockoff. I'll give 10 more seconds for anyone who'd like to join. Here's the link once again. And yeah. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You said it. 4, 3, 2. Thanks for the bottom. 1, 0. That scared me. I'm not gonna lie. We got 5 people. So this, you draw what you want, and then each time you have to try to draw what the other people drew, but you have less and less time to draw it. I'm always pretty generic with this. Let's do that. Actually. Oh, there we go. Look at that color. That's nice. Sorry, you're back? I'm not sorry you're back. Welcome back, Crunch Bear. Welcome back. I thought this might be one of our last ones, but we'll play one more since you just came back, Crunch Bear, after this one. Anata wa watashi no hikare Izibun ga moyo ni rekshite anata ni. It's fine. Just raid out. I'll find someone. Oh no, I'm not raiding, bro. I've been doing a subathon. I'm 8 days in with the subathon. I'm not raiding. Pinkun, so sweet. I always do that. Not always, but I do that a lot. But yeah. Thank you, Gineru. Unless Crunch Bear just wants to leave us. Just like everyone in my life. I'm just joking. Alright, let's draw a person. I don't know. I was gonna draw a bicycle and I got distracted and drew a car. I'm so dumb. You need to find good girl for you. You need to find good girl for you. You sound like my grandma, bro. But I do. It's okay, I have time though. I miss Alright, there we go. What color is the car? Red. Oh shit, no. What color is the sun? Yellow. I'll look one for you. Okay, bro, I don't have time for a girlfriend right now. I'm streaming a subathon. Then after the subathon, I will be prepping for Mr. Beast, whatever. Then after that, maybe I'll look for a girl. We'll see. Ooh, look, I'm learning from your clouds. Looks kind of good. I was thinking of like finding other streamers next, but I'm down for Mario Kart next, if you guys are down. She's a keeper, she'll make time for you. Yeah, I guess, but I won't have time for her. That's the problem. Bro, if I'm legit doing a, like, I don't know. Am I learning how to do clouds better, bro? They're kind of shitty, but they're still better than normal stuff. Na, 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 na. Ah, what the hell? She can hang in the basement. It's better content for stream too, right? Yeah, I guess you're right. I gotta find me a girl now. I mean, you are kind of right, but... Alright, you find her for me, bro. A girl looking for a Mexican-looking bald man that is Jewish and not Mexican. By the way, when we went down to Clear gifted a sub and we got some bits. I don't know if you saw. So we're back at around 2 hours. Okay. Yo. Yo, no, bro, this looks sick. I'm not gonna be able to do that. From nothing? That's hard stuff, man. That's hard stuff. All right, see you, Rosie. Wow, 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 wow. Bro. The hell, bro? How you do that, man? It's kind of fucked up, Claire. No, it's fine. Listen, if it goes on, it goes on. I will gain energy. I will find things to... That's... You become your best when you figure out stuff to do, you know? Bro, what the hell am I trying? What is... I already forgot. What did he have? Blue air? I don't know. I'm doing such a disservice. Oh, okay. This I could do. That one I could do, I think. Okay, I can't even do this shit, bro. Oh my god. Okay. No, we're gonna fix that. We gotta get the person. We gotta get the person at least. What? I changed. There we go. I changed. I'm a changed man. Alright, that looks good. Yo, what's up, Mac? How you doing, bro? How you doing, bro? Five. There were five. There were five. I should have concentrated more before clicking on that. It was like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. I'm dying. It's hard to draw this stuff. If you play Roblox, I'm playing a One Piece game. You have 30 devil fruits? Hell yeah. I feel like you perfect so many games, Mac. It's so cool. I am not playing Roblox, though. Sorry. I already forgot what the hell this guy was doing. I don't know, bro. Something like that. Don't give in. I shall not. Alright, that looks good. I was gonna give you a mythical Zoan. Oh, it's okay. It's fine, Mac. Appreciate it, though. Welcome back, Rosie. Alright. That's actually pretty close. You're just missing the rays. Who am I to talk, though? Mine are pretty trash. I came back during a round. Oh, I ran out of time. My art looked like something else. Like a penis, didn't it? This is actually pretty cool. It's showing the progression of Should I really save these? I'll save them. Why is the next song not playing? Not available. Nice. You know me, Ping. Right now I'm using Katakuri's fruit. Nice. What is it called? Mochi Mochi, right? Yo, Moog, that looks so cool. Yo, Corpse, that looks so cool. Not the same, but looks cool. Oh, I see what it was now. Mine looks like Casper the Ghost. Nice, Rosie. Why is it crying out semen, though? Nice. It looks like a scar, like Shanks from One Piece or something. Hey, that even looks more like Shanks. How did I get the background color wrong? It was so complex and it turned so bad. Oh no! I forgot to save it. I'm dumb. It was inspired by Pink's hunger for love. Nice. It's one of the best after Gear 5. Wait, there's Gear 5? Bro, don't spoil it for me, Mac. I'm not up to date on the manga. Oh, this looks sick. This is from McDonald's. I want to become top 3 when you awaken it. Oh. Or did they just make Gear 5 for the game? Don't even tell me that, bro. I don't want to know. Just don't spoil the show, please. You could actually see the progression into nothingness. That's funny. I won't say anything. Thanks. Sorry, bro. Bro, I'm sorry, Lynx. This looks so cool. I okay. I have a Gartic McDonald's sponsorship. Sorry, I forgot to give a heads up. You're good, bro. But it's like mega hard to get Gear 5 from what I heard. Oh, okay. All right. All right. If you are still here, Crunch Bear. Let me see if you're still here. You are. Wanna play? And anyone else who would like to play, you can join in for the final round of Gartic Phone. With an hour and 33 minutes left on the clock. We're gonna play some Mario Kart to close it off, I think. I feel like Fall Guys would make more sense, but because we played so much of it. But I got Mochi from pure luck. I found her from a tier 1 chest. Hell yeah, good stuff, bro. Good luck. It's almost 4 a.m. Jesus, Moog. Go to sleep, no? I feel like I screwed some of your guys' sleep schedules. I apologize. By the way, Moog, around 40 minutes ago is when I would normally start stream. I hear Gear 5 is when Luffy becomes a balloon animal. Alright, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7. You are the god of luck, maybe. 6. I don't have work tomorrow. Oh, okay. 5, 4, and yes, you have. Yep. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so you wake up pretty early. Like it's 6 a.m., right? 0. That was the last round. Thank you, everyone, for playing. We play from time to time if anyone would like to join in the future. And we put all the drawings on Discord if you want to save them for later. Actually, I really like some of these. If we had more people for today, it would have been cooler, but yeah. And now we're gonna play some Mario Kart. So if you want to join / watch Mario Kart, you could stick around. If you're wondering what we do here, this is what we do here. But generally, now we're doing a subathon. I've been streaming for 8 days straight. I've been streaming my sleep. I've been streaming me eating. I've been streaming everything. It's been pretty fun. But we're gonna go to Mario Kart now. We do Words on Stream, Gartic, Fall Guys, Hollow Knight, Mario 64 speedrunning, which I gotta do more of, a little bit of Minecraft, some FPS games, and yeah, Mario Kart. We're gonna get Mario Kart ready. Me too. Thanks for the games. Thank you, Corpse. It was fun. You're really good at drawing. You and everyone else. No, but you're pretty good. I'm gonna do that. Mochi Fruit is mega OP. Nice. Imagine someone donates 100 subs at that last second. I know, right? I have to head, get work soon, and need sleeps. All right, have a great night, Corpse. Thanks for joining in. The worst part is your smelly pocket. That was the best part of the subathon so far. What are you talking about? All right, I'm gonna get. Is that the Corpse? I'm gonna get Mario Kart set up as well. So, yeah. Anyone who'd like to join, this is my friend code. And if it's not too much of a trouble, can you change the category, Janelle, and the title if you want? Okay. Oh. Let's set it up. If I had a third monitor, I could just go boop, and it's all set up. But I only have 2 monitors, so that's not gonna happen. All right. Cool. Can't use that controller. Gotta use the other controller. Let's go. Mario Kart. If he tattooed an arrow on his head, he would be Ankh. Hey, look. How's that for Ankh? Done, Mesta. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Racing our way to the finish line. Nice title. Nice title. You guys always put good titles. And by you guys, I mean you and Doctor. I think Doctor put some nice ones too. All right, let's go online. Anyone can join. Just exclamation point FC for friend code or scroll to the top. If you beat me, I will give you $100. Just kidding. But if I was the best player in the world, I might say that. I have a friend who's like really, really good in every. Thank you, Rosie. In like every game he plays. But yeah. Yeah, you can join Discord. Dr. Alas asked me for what to put on titles. Doctor always asks me. Wait, does he actually? Oh, then you have the best titles, Dino. Unless you're bullshitting me. Okay. It'll be funny too, Moog, because you'll hear me real time, but you'll hear the game. Oh, let me not start yet. You'll hear me real time, but you'll see, if you're looking at stream, you'll see the reaction like late. That's kind of funny. If anyone is trying to get in that's not in yet, just say I in chat and I'll wait for you. Otherwise, I will start. So far, it looks like there's only 2 people in the lobby, so I'm guessing there'll be more, but who knows? Let me message the person. Message Amanda. Playing Mario Kart right now if you wanna join. That's to Jimmy. And yeah. Woot woot. Woot woot.
You're gonna
I love this song. Oh, Martin was playing Stray. I'm seeing one of the people I know playing Stray now. Is it just you're a cat? That's the whole game? Looks kind of funny. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna make a crew on the One Piece game. Hell yeah, Pink Pirates, let's go, Mac. Grip controls, I don't know. Maybe if you have the like motion controls? I don't know. Have more confidence in yourself, Moog. I don't know where my grip control is. Oh, Rosie said that. All right, we got 3 people in lobby, but I think 4. DNL, are you playing? Oh my god, looking at the time and seeing 9 o'clock still makes me think about walking my dog. Badges in chat, bro. They're that black thing which you connect your Switch controls to the end, just make it more comfy. Wait, you use those? I think I have those like in some box. I don't think I've ever used those. That's cool. You're joining? Okay, cool. I'm gonna embrace being last. Yeah, Sag. Thank you, Mac. Rip Ping Dog. True. But he's in heaven now. Oh, we have an emote of him, right? Yeah, he's so cute, bro. He's so cute. Mac, did you saw all the new emotes, right? Or did you not? We have some new emotes, bro. Okay, Jimmy hasn't answered, which is fine, of course. Ooh, there's a Weedle to catch on the server, so I'm gonna catch that. Oh, we didn't play. Oh, it just auto-corrected for me. We didn't play Poke MMO. I kind of wanted to play it, to be honest, but whatever. He has a beautiful smile. He does. Yeah, that's the best emote, right? I go handheld mode, or I just play with Pro Controller. Yeah, I usually play with Pro Controller.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Right?
Right?
All right. There's 4 people in lobby. I'm guessing we're ready. Say I in chat if you're not ready. How you doing, Dinal? You ready for an hour and 23 minutes of fun?
No.
What'd you say?
I
No?
think I'm gonna change it to an hour and 48 minutes? Or is it
You sure, bro? I don't know.
42?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do, so. Oh yeah, this is a Pro Controller. Oh, taco hat fell. It's kind of like an Xbox. I don't know. It's just a regular. I don't know.
I think this is us for now.
Okay, I'm starting it up. It's Glasses Squad. Let's go.
I mean, people can join as we go.
Oh, it literally is Glasses Squad. I love hearing Ping and Dinell twice. Wait, why do you hear us twice?
Let's mute us.
Oh, is Rosie in the call? Oh, nice.
Get 0 delay.
Mute us, you get 0 delay, but you get delay on the stream, so you get to see late reactions to screams. It's kind of funny.
So you can see what's gonna happen right before.
Yeah, it's like you're telling the future, right? You hear what happens right before. Yeah. Oh, you don't mind? Okay. Okay.
It's like if sound was faster than light.
Is light faster than sound? I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Is it?
Ooh, never mind.
Like if I go, do you hear that faster than? Like if I throw like lightning. Oh, you usually hear. Yeah, sound is. Wait, sound is faster than light.
No, you're dumb. When you see an explosion, the shock waves come second.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. No, but that's because you're far away from the sound.
Exactly.
But if you're right,
Sound.
if you're right on the sound, isn't it the same time?
Then
Like,
both of them come out happen at about the same time, but
yeah. So which one's faster?
light,
I don't know, bro.
bro. Are you having this right now,
I just don't know. That's why.
bro?
What?
Light is faster. It's like proven.
No.
Think about it.
Just tell
So
me
you see
how
it-
I could remember it. Is what I'm trying to get.
Oh, you see it, an explosion.
How'd the red
happen in
shell still hit me? Yeah, go ahead.
You see an explosion happen in the distance, and then the shock waves come and hit you like 5 minutes later. But the explosion happened 5 minutes ago. That's because light got to your eyes faster, and then the shock waves travel through the air.
All right, bro. This is not a science stream. It's fine.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, I kind of get what you're saying, but also like, I don't know.
Bro, it's not that hard. It ain't rocket science.
But it is science.
That is true. Just the whole time I go to New York, I'm just explaining all these scientific things. And you're like, all right, bro, shut up. You're like, and then when I leave, you're like, thank God, that fool.
Nah, I think we would have fun. You've never been to New York, right?
Never been outside of the state. I'm just kidding. That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a blatant fucking lie that you know. Yeah, never been there. It's gonna be fun. I've always wanted to be New York.
I feel like I'm not a good host though, but
it's okay.
Sorry, Rosie. Ah!
She like cuss you out. Real
Yeah.
time cussing you out. Her first words to you are like, "You
Fuck you.
fucking fuck you."
Oh, it's the last. That was the last. Are you kidding me? I just got red shells.
Damn, and they took Rosie, eat
I
it, babe.
ate it. I ate it. Buzz
Yes,
Lightyear.
queen. Eat Rosie. OMG.
Wait, Buzz Lightyear means that light is faster than sound? Wait, which one's faster again? Light is faster than sound.
Light is faster than sound. That's all you gotta know. It's that simple.
Bro, I want to know why, though. I don't... Isn't lightning speed
Why?
something?
Because light is just straight up protons that travel through the air, while air is just the molecules as a wave.
Alright, bro, whatever. Oh, yeah, air is like vibrations, right? I mean, sound is vibrations of air.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Light speed? Yeah, light speed is a word. Light year is a word. Not light speed. Speed of light moves... Oh, how much faster does it move than sound? Do you know that?
Well, sound goes like 697 miles an hour.
That sounds
And
so
then-
made up, but...
I think light goes 1,000 something? Maybe faster.
Wrong.
Maybe like 10,000.
I just read on Google.com that light... I already forgot. I think it said light was 1,000,000 times faster than sound, but that might be way off. I don't remember what I read already.
Maybe it's...
Don't red shell me,
I think
bro.
that sounds
Don't...
right.
Good job,
Well, let's
Moog.
see.
From what you said, it doesn't sound right. Ah!
What do you mean? I'm just making this up. I'm not being exact with my science.
Yeah, but you're way off. If you're 600 versus 1,000, that's like not even double.
I don't know, bro. I don't know this shit off the top. I know the speed of sound off the top of my head. Cause the sound barrier can be broken.
Yeah,
by,
I
like,
know
jets and
that
shit.
because yeah, I know that. 1 hour and 18 minutes left. Yep. You want to play Mario Kart, Nathan? Stupid, you had to go. Aw. All right. Sorry for hitting you, Mook. Sorry,
No,
not sorry.
Man, I'm trying to figure out how like to stop my screen from like turning off. It's annoying.
What, on the phone?
On my computer. It's mad annoying.
On Windows, right?
No, it's Mac.
Oh, you got a Mac. That's right. Oh, that green shell hit you. Oh
Whack.
my god. Haha.
Oh,
Haha. That bomb is way off, bro. You're gonna hit yourself with that bomb. Or maybe not. Oh, I thought that was the last round.
hit them. Come on, Moog.
I got 3
Hit them.
bananas, bro. I had to go. My points! Aw, Rosie, I'm sorry. We should have all stopped in the game for Rosie. That would have been kind of funny. You know what?
What points?
I'm
Wait, can we do a coin
Oh,
flip at the end of this
I think she means because of the subathon.
subathon?
A coin flip? If people are down, yeah.
I miss Doctor. What happened?
Me too, right? I didn't want to say it because I don't want to sound like a weirdo, but how did you both pass me at the last second? God damn. But he just left,
remember.
bro.
He doesn't care about us anymore.
He doesn't like it here.
He doesn't.
It's
It's
okay. He went to Amanda and BK. Yeah, but at least like BK comes through, you know? I said Mario Kart. He said maybe. I'm incredibly brain dead at the moment. What is he doing all day? I'm so confused. Is he just talking to Amanda and like sleeping an hour a day?
Yeah, that's some toxic.
Is that
I don't know.
I don't know about toxic, but it's not good for you, right?
Yeah,
You got me now. Let's go.
that's too much.
Yeah.
Like I get it, do it like once in a while, but
Hmm.
to do it consistently for.
But
a
also,
while.
we're not him. Kakashi? What the
Yeah.
hell? Kakashi's
right.
in our game with the Kakashi face and everything. That's
It's not
awesome.
Kakashi, bro. That's
Bro, it's,
gamer.
oh, gamer's thing is Kakashi. That's
Oh,
awesome. That's awesome. I
maybe
didn't.
they are in a relationship and they haven't told us.
I think they are.
I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
Yeah, I think they are, but um,
Spend that much time.
right? Like they're spending so much time together.
Tractor and me in the sitting on a tree. Kissing.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I
Me
kind of hinted
neither.
at it before, but I didn't want to
Me
say it
too.
out
I've been
loud.
hinting at it. I've
Yeah.
been.
I wanted to make jokes too, but I'm like, nah. I
I'm
don't
gonna make
know.
jokes. We should make jokes.
Now we should. It's like it's a lot already. It's like it must be,
It's
right?
it's way too much. It's been a week, bro. Since the beginning of the Subathon, they've been together.
True. True. They're like talking all the time. They change profile pictures. They're like playing all these games. Ooh, nice M&M.
It's like, Doctor,
Ooh la
you're on the
la.
prowl, I see.
It's not the first time he would be in a. Oh, never mind.
I know. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. Interesting guy.
Doctor. Kind of
What's
a
that?
simple, if you ask me. I'm just kidding.
Bro, he's a player. What are you
No,
talking about, bro?
I love the Doctor. Doctor's funny as fuck. That's why he gets relationships. I mean, let me think.
Have you ever seen his face?
Never.
Me neither.
Maybe that's why she left. No, fuck, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Bro, it's so messed up. He's not even here.
No, hey, that's his problem. I would tell him straight to his face if he was here.
True. I mean, I think that's a funny joke.
It is funny.
You know, he wouldn't talk about why. I'm so curious. I'm kind of. Oh, that was the last round. I never know when it's the last round.
I hate Cheeseland. It's my worst.
Oh.
Ah,
Gamer is gonna start owning. It's good. It's good competition to have something to reach for, you know?
we should add comms because like it makes it more fun in a way.
You could add comms?
Computers, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like communication. Yeah, you could join VC Gamer. Join a different VC and I'll drag you in. I like the song. Janelle knowing all my me's is like he's a fanboy.
You're the only one that would do that.
I like Kakai. That looks mad cool.
I don't know your me's. I don't think anybody else here would do it, and you're like the only one that isn't in here. Cause I know your
Nah,
me.
you know his memes.
I know his me. The one, and then the rest of them is like, all right, if he's not there and he's in chat, then he must be this.
Wait, what
It
happened
ain't
to your
that difficult.
fingers, Rosie? Sorry for interrupting. I don't
You bit
die.
her finger. Charlie bit her
Oh
finger.
my god. That used to be the thing.
Charlie?
Yeah, that used to be. That was like one of the first memes probably on the internet, or maybe not, but it was
No,
pretty early on.
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not one of the first, but it was pretty early on. It was like the 2000s, which
Like
sounds
2000,
crazy
like
to say that that's early on 2000s.
if
You know?
anything, that's one of the first viral videos.
Yeah.
Not a meme. I think memes like predicate it.
Oh, I think memes came beforehand.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
just that
guess, but
it's
like
just a different kind of meme.
probably one of the first viral memes though.
I think a meme is just like anything of cultural
Ah. Oh,
like repetition,
relevance.
relevance, something culturally. I forget the
The word. You're good,
yeah.
bro. You Gucci.
because I would consider quoting movies
Ah,
as a
Rosie!
meme.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I got you too. With the fireball. No, don't red shell me, bro.
Off.
Ah! I'm still gone, bro. Bye. Who has a star? Okay, I don't care anymore. Whatever. You wanna play Mario Kart, Mac? We probably can't, right? Jared is here. Bro, I always see Jared. He's
I'm
always around.
surprised Jared hasn't came around.
Well, he's on vacation right now.
No, I mean to your place. To your place.
I know. I was hoping he would come, but I mean, he went on vacation pretty much when I was starting the subathon. I might go to his place during his subathon, but I don't.
Hey,
I don't think I will, only because he
travel.
hates Jews. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And travel. How did
Come
my
on, come
red?
on, come on, come on.
No, no,
Yes.
no! I passed you.
No.
Oh. Never
Hi,
mind.
Shelly.
Hi, Shelly. Your switch is dead. Gotta rethink my life choices. Hi, Shelly. How you doing? I just realized your profile picture. It looks so good. It looks so cool.
The Shellys?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like an anime character thing.
Hmm.
I gotta check those more often.
I gotta change mine. Mine's lame. It's that one guy from Jujutsu Kaisen. I
I'm
gotta
doing
change it.
great. How are you doing?
I think I'm gonna change it to.
Where is yours? Let me look at your chat. Oh yeah, I like yours.
It's
Oh, I forgot to
okay.
drag Gamer in. My bad. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I've been alright. How about you?
Howdy.
What's
Howdy.
up? I've been doing good, Shelly. 8th day, almost done with the subathon. Feeling pretty good about that.
It's the fact that Danilo somehow knows my me's when I just don't even tell people I'm just about to join.
I know, right?
I legit just got out of one game, like a streamer, and left it because it was like supposed to be private. I didn't even know. So
Uh-oh.
I was just only a Pikachu. I didn't go as gamer for life as a me y'all see every time.
That's smart.
I mean, bro, I know your main me. That's about it. And you're in chat.
Name me.
And then I don't see
That's
anybody
sick,
else say they
Shelly.
want to join.
Yeah, but I
Well,
didn't
like,
say I want to join. I just done it just cause.
yeah, but I don't know, bro.
No, that's fine.
Hit me.
I'm in, what? Yo, Backstreet Boys, let's go. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to request music, you're more than welcome to. Hell yeah, Shelly. I want to see you draw one. That's awesome. I hope someone donates 100 million tier 3 subs. Oh, I would definitely end stream if someone did that. I would retire. I would go see Dinell in California. And then that's it. What else do I need to know?
Girlfriend.
Get a
We're gonna go look
girlfriend.
for L. We're gonna go look for L.
No, that's
You
weird,
forgot no
bro.
comms. You forgot no comms ping.
Huh? Oh yeah,
Forgot
yeah.
no comms.
I've been putting no comms. Should I put? Is it better? I guess I'll put it next
Yeah.
time.
Makes like more competition and harder.
Okay. I can't hear Twitch when using Discord. Oh, that's right. You could still. Well, it's Backstreet Boys. That way. I'll sing it so you could hear it. Dinell, you're gonna play it on drums and Gamer on guitar, yeah?
I don't know the song.
You don't know
Not that
Backstreet
well.
Boys?
I don't know it that well.
I want it that way. Tell me why.
Tell
No,
me why.
yeah, just do it with your mouth, you know? Like, tell me why I did nothing but a mistake.
Yeah.
Tell me why I never got. Well, it's easy for me to do because I hear it right now, but. No, my avatar state. Ooh, Rosie's first.
Dude, oh my god.
Not for much longer, but.
Moog is so mean. Holy crap. They literally stopped and just shot me with fireballs.
Oh.
Shot at me with fireballs.
That's funny.
It's okay.
That way. Oh, I
remember.
bananaed
You
myself.
dumbass.
Oh.
Oh, Rosie's in first?
Yeah. I was gonna be so happy beating Gamer and Rosie. And you, I guess, and Moog, but...
Not anymore.
Who's Jared? Nathan?
Yeah, Nathan.
Oh, okay. And
Look at Gamer go.
Sometimes I forget. Just got my eyebrows done. Hell yeah,
What
bro.
the-
Send a picture if you want on the Discord. I gotta get my eyebrows done, bro. They look so bad.
Did you get them removed?
I will if we get 200 subs right now. But
No, I
don't-
mean Chungus, Jimmy.
Oh.
Did you get them removed?
No, he said he got them
To
done.
be honest, I was actually quiet because my family's kind of loud back here. I don't want like them
You're
blurring out my
fine.
name.
You're
No, I'm
fine, bro.
not. It's annoying. Plus, I had a bad combo, so I was driving with one hand.
It's
Oh, I
okay.
see
We
what
already
you
know
mean.
your name.
Yeah.
You
I'll
know,
type
It's
it.
Gamer.
I'll type it in chat.
no, like my government name.
Yeah, I know your government name. You've told me.
Yep.
It's Antonio.
Oh yeah, and his last name. He told me also. Banderas.
Banderas. Banderas. Spell it.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. The nose hairs too.
Banderas.
Oh.
No, it's canon now.
Oh. How often do you need to get your eyebrows done and stuff, Jimmy? Before anyone, my controllers just fucked me over. It sounds like excuses, but okay.
I don't know why this is a thing, but at school, like anytime I go, like from like ninth grade, all the girls ask me if I wax my eyebrows because they are perfectly arched.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, which is pretty cool.
Well, here's the thing: I was just born with perfectly arched eyebrows.
Some of us are
And
just
you-
born perfect. You're just one
Yeah.
of them.
Surprisingly, that gets a lot of girls.
Yeah, eyebrows are important. I do mine like
Take
every
notes.
6 weeks.
Take notes.
I will take notes.
I do
I'm
need to
gonna
get
go.
my eyebrows done, to be honest.
Just get them waxed. People said, I never waxed mine.
Bro,
might-
you should do it. You should go to like get your eyebrows done on stream or something.
Yeah.
I ain't showing my face. Even if there's like a meetup, say like a Ping, Jared, and Jimmy,
Imagine, dude.
and I just show up somehow because I'm like going incognito, spying on that shit. I actually show up in like a mask, like
No.
acting like a
Bro,
Tashi.
don't show up
No,
in a
just show my
mask.
face.
What?
Yes.
That would be so sus. I know your voice though, so I don't mind if I look scruffy for a
Yeah,
little
but not my
bit.
face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I won't even show my face for like until like what, I don't know, 15K
15K what on?
followers or something or shit like that. I don't know.
You gotta make it wait. You gotta make them
Oh,
wait.
you're right, way higher, like 50K.
No, more.
Thanks for the follow, blue-eyed lady. Do you know the song Blue
1,000K.
Blue Eye?
More.
What's that
Come
song?
on, bro. You went down, didn't you? You said 50K and then you went 1,000K.
No, he said 15, I think. Oh,
You said
That was my boomerang somehow. Somehow it hit you.
that was.
Bye-bye.
I have. What'd you say? Do you know? I didn't hear you.
bye bye.
I didn't.
See,
Shit.
I'm coming for them cheeks. Whoop, whoop. That's me clapping your cheeks. Whoop, whoop. That's you in the feet.
You're welcome. Blue-eyed lady. Is that from? Oh, it makes me think of
Oh,
Painted
you son of
Lady
a bitch.
from Avatar, or Blue Eyes Blue, which
Bring me
is a
them
song by
cheeks.
Eric Clapton. I don't know if you know that. But yeah, I would love for podcasts to come back, Shelly. The problem with that is just that I can't believe you remember that. The problem with that is people. Oh, bye, Dino. is
Edge.
people are not consistent with podcasts. If we could get maybe I have to get a group of people again. I don't know.
I know a couple guys that might be down.
Oh yeah.
Why do I feel like one of them is me?
Not gamer. But I know a couple guys.
Okay. That makes.
Still thinking of how to do this 24-hour stream.
I just don't tell you who they are. I just say I know a couple guys.
Yeah, just a
Oh.
blue-eyed lady. That's pretty cool. I feel like if I had blue eyes and black hair, I'd be so hot. Oh,
Dude,
anyway,
I wish.
if anyone
Yeah.
wants to join.
Wait, do you think the Aryans are like a better looking group? Kind of
You know what?
hypocritical. Man.
So my friend actually put his Tinder to Germany, and he put it on like he hacked it so he could just swipe forever, and it was all blonde girls, hot blonde girls with blue eyes. Blue-eyed ladies, like blue eyes, blonde hair.
Blue eyes.
What's up,
White
Ping
dragon.
Pong? Yo, what's up, Clover? I saw you got a gifted sub the other day. How you doing, bro? Long time no talk. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to, by the way.
you know what track we on, right?
No. What
Danelle?
track are we on? I'm
What
not
do you
playing
think?
anymore.
Oh, you're not?
Cap,
No. I left.
you know the track we on.
Oh, I gotta take another shot. It's the hour.
Please let me know.
It's
What
the
track are we on?
It's the one
You know
Jimmy
the track,
hates.
Danelle.
I don't.
Mute.
Kinda
Boss don't do
scared now.
tricks, Danelle. You do know I'm a Mario Kart Pro, right? You know I learned the game inside and out.
Then why am I first? Ah!
Why is he first?
Cause I'm going to do an exploit, aka shortcuts.
Yeah, I should learn shortcuts. Oh, more
That's the
Eminem.
main thing about me. If there's a game I'm
What's
playing,
up, BK?
I'm definitely gonna learn more about it. Like Mario Kart, that's how I got so good at it.
Cool. Wait, let me read chat for a second. Blue eyes, blonde hair.
Then
To
get off my
pale.
cheeks. Get off my cheeks.
To pale for black hair. Too pale for black hair. But I feel like blue eyes and black hair is so interesting. You know what I mean? Not that blue eyes, blonde hair is bad. That's also cool. It's better than what I have. I'm just
Now that's
I'm
appealing
just,
to Nell.
I'm just like normal features, you know? I'm good. How are you?
Second.
Huh? What are you talking
Why
about?
you was in second?
Damn it! Because you know shortcuts. Whatever. And you bombed me, really? No! No! Oh, I thought that was the last round. Oh my god, I got
No,
so
you gotta
pissed
listen
off.
to the music. Listen to the music of Mario Kart.
I don't
When it
have the
goes
music
faster, That's
on.
the third lap.
I don't have the music on. Wait, let me read chat. Yeah, we're just doing a subathon that's finishing up Clover, which I don't mind because we had a lot of content and
It
content
was longer than Jimmy's and Liam's.
Well, I did 30 minutes a sub, but even then,
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause you got the
comparing to them.
Just saying.
Um,
Yeet.
but
I
yeah,
think I can get like 20. I think I can get 20 donuts down by here.
When are you doing your subathon, gamer?
bye, Dino. Damn it! Never mind. Oh, I passed
That was-
you.
That
I
was
passed
fucking
you.
gamer.
Good
was-
job, gamer. Yo, thanks for the 20
I said I might be able
bits.
to get 20 donuts down here, and I only got one down. If something coming.
What's up, Epicura? How you doing, bro?
If I do a subathon though, first I gotta get affiliate, which I'm only at 2 followers. You don't even follow Danelle. I'm confused even why I even modded you.
You modded him?
Yes, then took it away because I'm like, wait a minute, he don't even follow.
Bro, you get a lot of
Dude,
mods taken away from you, huh?
you gave me mod before I even followed.
I know, I just realized that too when I had.
I'm just gonna deafen for a second. Honestly, I was hoping that my kid was gonna have her dad's eyes with her dark ass hair, but no. Hey, 57 minutes and the subathon will be over. Yep. How you doing, Jessica? Yeah. Yo, the song's nice.
Why Danelle hates that?
Alright, I'm
like,
back.
seeing the viewer count.
Yeah, Stream Elements is an asshole. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
But I'm using a Chromebook to like help stream for Twitch, and it's a hassle. That this Chromebook is like on life support. I swear.
Okay. That sucks.
It does. I need to get like a new PC and a new Switch.
Yeah, my brother and sister have a Chromebook too, I think. Oh, this map is kind of
Danelle, why
hard.
you AFK?
Messages. I got personal life, bro.
Damn, shots fired. Okay.
I've been working mostly like 2 days a week.
Nice.
I mean, why does he have to call me out for just being quiet?
No, I ain't calling you out for being quiet. I'm calling you out like what's wrong? Is anything all right? Everything all right? Cause nope, you would never stay at the finish line or start line like that. Never.
I have messages. I was just sending a message.
I just analyzed my friends.
It's
and
not
I
that
see how they play,
complex.
like BK.
We're not.
Ain't much.
We're not very. I mean,
Wait, Clover in here too, right? Yeah.
I think Clover
Clover,
joined.
bring
Yeah.
Clover?
that cheek. Bring your cheeks over here. Yeah, Clover. Bring me them cheeks. I
Who's
know your ass coming over here. With
Clover
that,
was
white
from
shy guy.
the tournament, if you remember.
Yeah. I raced with him and my YouTube video.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got in there.
Okay.
Bring me them Canadian cheeks, bucko.
I'm getting my
BK
class
fall off
ready.
the
I
edge.
got
It's alright, Pink. It's alright. Oh, what the?
gamer. When I'm reading chat, can you just like be a little quiet?
Calm
I'm
down.
sorry.
Alright.
Sorry.
My bad. My bad.
No, it's okay. What's it called? I'm getting my class ready. I gotta work in 40. Damn. Good luck, bro. Like who now? What? I'm not listening. What? You're good, BK. Don't worry.
Hi,
Oh,
BK.
Coco. Hi, Coco.
Nathan with
bitch?
the E.
Damn.
Yeah, don't forget.
Damn.
No. BK allows us calling
That's
her bitch.
fucked up.
That's messed
Dude,
up,
she
bro.
doesn't even allow me, bro. She said she doesn't want it anymore.
Oh yeah.
God damn. She said she's over it. She got annoyed that someone kept on calling her bitch.
Yeah. I don't
did
call
this happen?
any girl that except my stepsis, but
When did this happen to BK?
I was joking.
I don't
Oh,
know.
like who bullied her?
I want to know the
That's
same.
awesome.
It was you, gamer.
Yeah, it was you, gamer.
Oh, I fell.
You dummy.
Ah.
Well done,
Oh. Anyway,
Oh,
what are
that
these
bone, though.
songs? Oh yeah, I gotta take one more shot.
Wait, you taking a shot every single time you lose or what? Or
Yeah.
get bottom 3?
Every time I lose.
So
Yeah.
you gotta get top 3, right?
No, I just gotta get number 1. I'm just
Number
joking.
head
I'm just
calm.
joking. I'm taking. I just owe Chad another another one. That's why. And Tinel told me to take one around the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy got on. Just chilling out. Okay, cool. It's all coming to an end. Don't choke. BRB or not. I won't choke. Look at my phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Once Subathon is over, you'll stop streaming, right? Yep. Unless I get
Damn,
10,000 gifted subs right now. Yeah, see Willie sick. I'll probably be back in like a day. After a day. I don't care if people call me a bit. Oh.
2 days.
Don't forget to add comms.
Yeah, that too. 200cc if you want to.
Nah, don't do
Do I-
200.
Do I have to give a sub for 200?
No. What? Why would you have to give a
I
sub
know,
for
Coco.
200?
See, I told you.
My
I just
face
like
has
causing drama.
my face has to disappear for a bit.
Or the drama. Times.
Button's not working really. Yeah, my face has to disappear, guys. But I'll still be here. Alright, guys.
Gross.
Bye. It's like it finished. BK's never won in my eyes. She's a king, not a queen. Wow, kind of messed up if you ask me, but okay. Oh, you told me to add comms, right?
Yeah, 200cc he said as well.
Hard comms.
Yeah, hard comms, 150cc,
Come in.
frantic
I took
items.
out my camera.
Hey, he actually did it though.
Oh, not
what-
200.
I'm female and I'm king. Oh, my bad, BK. Sorry.
Yeah, she is. I can confirm. I was there when she was anointed.
It's cause you picked on 200cc.
I'll give you 2 subs if you don't do it again. Oh, Darkness got one. Hog.
Y'all can still hear me, right?
And then out about twice.
Pong?
Yeah, I could hear it.
No?
Thank you for the. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for the gift sub, bro. I'll play on guitar after this game. My
Because you
fate.
picked 200cc. That's
Oh,
it.
thank you.
And I like this track.
Fair. Why do I have to be a queen? Because I'm a woman? Alright, bro. Whatever. You're a king. Fine. Are you happy now? But I still think you're a queen. Ah! BK's never won in my eyes. She's a king. Yeah, the stream
Read
got
that.
1,000 times better. Lol.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else. Sorry, my bad.
You're fine. Why be a supreme leader when you can be a god? They should have crowd control for Mario Kart. I don't think it was there.
I think Clover knows this track too, like of how to use it. Right, he don't.
I mean, Clover is actually good. You forgot to take out
Beat
the
him before.
space. It's still pretty good.
How does crowd
Sure.
control work? Like, how does it change your game?
It basically.
And being called by family.
I
hate
think
this moment.
it overlays things on top of it. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I don't know how it actually. I don't know how it actually takes over the controls and stuff. But for the overlays, it overlays it on top of my monitor screen. You're good. Bye. Done? Okay. Alright, my face. Parents had to do something in my room.
Okay. I'm just curious. I wasn't paying attention when you said.
No,
stuff.
you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my god, I hate 200cc. It's literally the worst.
I mean, 50. You prefer 50?
I heard. I prefer 150. Yes.
But like, if you had to pick between 50 and 250, all right, my face is coming back, guys. I'm sorry. It's gonna get 1,000 times worse. Sorry, Nathan. Let's go. To be fair, though, I
Guys,
believe
I'm gonna be
Queens.
back real quick. I'm gonna be right back real quick.
Okay. To be fair, though, I believe queens are better than kings. Just look at
Oh, thank
chess.
God. He's gone.
A king is a coward in chess, and a queen takes control. But the king also can't do much, you know? I was gonna play guitar for him. Oh well. I'll play
So you
what?
did.
Nah.
I'm just kidding.
That's yeah, but the king. If you kill the queen, the game goes on. People only care about the king. Why am I playing so bad? Because sometimes when I read chat, I can't look at the screen. That's your boy
Right?
Jimmy fella is so good at this game. Nah, he's alright. I don't know.
Howdy.
I don't know about so good, but howdy.
I didn't even know Jimmy joined in this until I saw him on the track.
Yeah, he might
No,
have.
he's not playing.
He is.
He's busy making a movie.
Kinda
Everybody feels
cracked.
threatened by a queen. I don't know about that, BK.
Yeah,
You
I'm
tell
not
me.
threatened. Plus,
Monkey
you're a
do
king, so
okay.
what's the
Same.
difference?
Monkey do pretty okay.
Plus,
Yeah, you are a
I
king.
guess.
yeah, you're a
Wait,
king.
you're a king. You admit
Yeah.
that kings are better. What the hell? Oh, I'm not a queen. I'm a king. I'm always king. Oh, queens are better.
Right? Are you gonna go back to
What
lurking?
is it?
Alright, thanks for the lurk. What is what?
Oh, I got placed on the top chart. Like,
What is
top
it? What's
chart,
better,
quote,
king or queen? Come on, BK.
Queens are better?
Okay, then I'm a
Oh.
queen. You're a king.
Yeah, I mean, she said she was a king before, so.
Shortcut.
Kinda sussy baka to me.
Let it.
He's a coward. He doesn't do much. Oh, the king. The king actually does a lot in the end game. He does a lot of running away. No, he
A
fights
lot
a
of
little.
This
running.
is a lot of talk about chess, man.
That's right. Why, you don't like chess, bro?
I used to be in chess club in high school. Now I gotta work about esports for when I go back to school.
I think you actually mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah,
My
that's how
bad.
that's why I looked up for Jimmy channel. I like to train
You like the what?
for esports tournaments and all that.
Oh, that's cool. Queen is a band and a place. Is King that? No. Queen is a band and a really good band. And King probably is a band, but it probably sucks. And actually, no, King is a place also.
There's King Crimson. Or
Oh,
what is it?
I don't know.
King something.
There's King,
GG.
Yeah.
bro, I'm not even there yet.
GG.
There's also King's, what's it called? There's Kings County, which is like Brooklyn, so there's no Queens
Excuse
County.
me, is that my nose blowing in the mic? Hold up. I hear somebody nose blowing in the mic.
Might be. It might, in fact, be. Do I have to take? I don't need to take this shot because we're above
it's
an
not
hour.
me. It's not my mic because I'm not blowing in there. I'm just muted myself for a few seconds.
Okay, it sounds fine right now.
No, I'm saying somebody like blowing in the mic with their nose. I'm just confused of who it is.
I think it is you actually.
It's not.
Yeah, because Dino wasn't talking, but not King alone. That's true. That's true, Epicuro. King Crimsons. Oh, there are some kings. Oh, it's definitely your mic, gamer. I don't need to take a shot because it's not 1 hour, Dino. So.
Oh, come on. I still say we should have at least had like bedtime stories playing for you as like you to go to sleep too.
Did you see what BK said in chat? Nah, yeah, I should have done
Yeah.
something for every night, but I say goodnight.
Hello. I just want to quickly interject that Ping, you should read a story good night with like some music, tuck chat into bed.
Oh, hey,
you know?
Jimmy John Pizza. What's up?
How's it going?
You miss me? You miss
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Jimmy John Pizza?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, how you feel about me being like close to affiliate, huh?
Good for
Buckarino?
you. Good job. I hope it goes well.
I mean, the emotes already coming along. Shit.
Nice.
Dude, Pingy should read a story. It sounds like a radical idea.
It sounds radical. I've never read a story in my life. I mean,
Ping,
Really?
No, for old time's
Yeah.
sake.
I got one for you.
Ping,
Old
Game of
time's
Thrones.
sake, Jimmy. Old time's sake, please let one hit.
what?
I'm
Gamer,
joking
do you want me
right
to
now.
kick you out of the VC?
No,
I'm,
gamer's fine.
No.
It's for old time's sake. It's how me and Jimmy are.
Aw,
Like our relationship in Mario Kart.
I'm bringing you
Okay.
guys closer together.
Oh my god. But by the way, real quickly, while you were talking about that though, Ping, just flat out steal my idea, get dressed for like nighttime in like a onesie, and just read Chat a good night story.
Well, Subathon's ending, so next
Yeah, unless you
Subathon.
want to donate a shit.
No,
ton-
I'm good.
All right. Does anyone here have at least $5? Because I can maybe gift one sub if
How
someone
was
else
I
here wants
first?
to gift
I
another.
already gifted a sub.
That's okay. Hey,
I
Jared,
gifted
what's
a lot
up?
Too.
No, it's okay, guys. It's fine. We've done a lot during the Subathon. We don't need a foot camera. We're good.
We need to call Mr.
But also do
Who got
whatever
his
you want.
number?
But also, I don't mind the ending. I don't mind continuing. I'll
I
just say that.
might. An hour left. I don't know if someone gives a
Shoot!
sub right now. I'll give one.
I already gifted a
God.
sub, Bucko. I gotta save my money for a PC
Bro,
and
Janelle. All right, I have to go back on real quick. Hold on. Hold on.
Bro.
a Switch. Oh shit!
Okay.
Here we go again.
Hold on.
Thanks for the
I-
gift
we
and stuff.
do
Oh,
need
it's a
to see
blue-eyed
those
lady.
toes.
Oh,
We do need to see those
like,
toes.
Give
I
me
don't
those
know. I might
toes.
have to wax my feet then.
No, wait.
So
Even
those
better.
slutty little toes.
Yeah.
2 for 1.
Don't unfollow
Okay,
and
I know
unsub.
Jared needs some foot action in his life.
Yeah, he wants to see my
It's
slutty
been
little
dry
toes.
up in vacation.
All right, I'm actually gonna rejoin after restart my computer. My thing's broken. I need to give.
Jimmy, why'd you make me spend
$1.
$1?
No, I'm coming back. I'm going.
Yeah.
No, I'm gifting that sub. I'm gifting that sub. You bitch. I will be
You
back.
liar, Jimmy.
You-
I
You
will
clickbaited
literally
him.
be
You
back.
clickbaited
Hold on.
him.
Good, good. Hey, you want me to give you back that money, didn't? Oh,
Let's see
thanks for the sub, Rosie. You didn't have to do
Rosie.
that. Relax. Jimmy lying to his
Exactly.
audience. I know,
Hashtag
right?
cancel Jimmy.
Furry, what's up? And Fing's audience, true. That's
At the
funny.
thing,
Jimmy
I was
never
holding that
stops.
follow for like 1 year.
He always lies. Right,
What a
gamer?
liar. Yeah.
Perfect person to ask.
He lied about saying that he would like play. What's it called again? Ninjala. He never played with Ping or what's it called?
What?
Jared.
How could he?
What? He's a lie. I've
It was
never
a
lied
good game.
in my life.
They had anime, like they even had like anime class with it too.
My eyes deceived
Ooh,
me.
go to sleep.
This is a good.
It's 5
song.
a.m. or something.
I go to sleep at
8 over
2:30,
here.
so that just didn't make sense. Rosie, thank you so much, and Dinelle also. You guys didn't have
Oh.
to.
Yes, we did.
That's how I know you actually want the stream to go longer.
Honestly, I was getting sad that it was ending.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could, bro. I'm pumped up right now. I could keep going.
It's been nice waking up and watching your streams.
Aww.
Yeah, it'd been nice of me to leave my computer on day and night, like just being your
Especially
slave.
now that there's no Jimmy or Jared streams.
Oh,
Like they're the
okay,
best
there
streamers,
it is.
so
There
I
it
guess I have
is.
to.
There it is.
I gotta conform to something.
That's fair. Thanks for the
Oh,
sub.
no,
Yeah, and
no.
Blue-Eyed Lady is new, and she seems cool. So
She got it? Nice.
yeah.
Always
Get off my
happy to.
cheeks!
Oh, I thought you did...
Gift.
Oh, that was the last one. That you have
Yeah.
one
You thought
sub
I
for
did
30
it-
minutes is still insane.
Well, it's 15 minutes now, right?
No, it's 30. I
2
kept it
hours.
at 30.
It's still
That Jimmy
30.
John pizza?
Yeah.
No, we're back at 2 hours.
I know.
Hype.
Jimmy has like 1 minute.
He has.
Ready to start this motherfucking hype train. Let's go. Hold on.
Aw,
Hold
thanks for the
on.
hydrate, Furry. Literally, we'll keep you going until me and Jim come back.
When are you coming back, Jared?
Yo, oh, Jack, that's my IRL friend. That's hilarious. Yo, thanks for the gifted sub, bro. I gotta play on guitar for everyone now. I'm kind of tired of doing that, I'm not gonna lie.
There are like
But-
3 guitars. Oh, Jimmy gifted now.
Well, I got like 6 guitars, but you know, we're not, you know.
Yo,
Hey,
Epic Kudo.
Epikudo! Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Hold on.
Eat your popcorn. I'm jealous. I want to eat popcorn. Sag when pig ends stream. Don't worry, I'll never end. Except when the timer runs out.
Be
oh.
conservative.
Nights and tired eyes. All right. Yo, what are you doing? Oh! Oh my god, 5 subs, bro. Oh, lettered symbol, banana.
You should have lowered it to 15 minutes, not gonna lie.
Damn.
Oh,
Let's
Jimmy
stay
with
up all
200
night.
fans.
Jimmy!
Bro!
Jimmy Jr.
Ah!
June.
Tomorrow's my brother's birthday, shit. I
Birthday
might.
Oh,
stream?
birthday stream?
Birthday stream! Everyone
Birthday
get this
No, no,
fucking
stop,
sub right
stop.
now!
Stop. He doesn't like to be on camera, so I might have to go for a couple hours off
Oh,
camera.
he's camera shy.
Yeah, but
Aw.
A blue-eyed lady. You're.
Hog.
Thank you so much. You just came in too. Gozaimasu. Went to the movies today. Of course, I needed to buy popcorn. Oh, I wish I went to the movies any day recently. Yo, 69 bits. Thanks, bro. I am.
You gotta
spoiled.
make it so like when it sends 69, you get like a nice.
Oh,
Nice.
you're so right. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Nice.
No, it's gonna be
Missed
like
opportunity.
wow, and like hearts pop up or something. 69 bits.
Gives you the ooh
Ooh,
face.
woo.
And I wish I could give
Yeah.
Jimmy my bits.
Okay, bro. Stop.
Chill.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You caught me on a good day. Aw. Well, I appreciate
Oh
it.
damn! So if you we were on a bad day,
Then she would have.
Just kidding, I'm
She
just
would
kidding,
have.
I'm-
She would have reported me.
Robbed you.
she would have reported you on a bad day.
I
Having
was
too
just-
much fun.
I was just joking. Let's go. Level 3 hype train. Damn, guys.
Hi, Jared.
Oh my god. No way.
Jared!
Keep going until we
I
come
forgot
back.
his voice for a second. Yeah.
What's up, you fucking schmuck?
What's up? I gotta play guitar for everyone.
I hit me with some fucking chords, baby.
Okay. On a bad day, I wouldn't have gifted. Thank you. Oh, that was bad. Blue-eyed lady. Thank you, Gamer Jimmy and Epicuro. And thank you to Jared, what? Janelle.
Yeah, don't fucking thank me. I really hopped in your call out of nowhere. That's my fucking thank you.
Jared!
It was
The guy that gave
beautiful.
the most and Rosie!
There you go.
That was so bad. I'm sorry. I'm tired of doing that.
They're
Okay?
perfectly. They're right next to each
Tired of
other.
doing this. Oh, that's funny.
But I do appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I guess you do really want me to continue.
5
And-
more hours of this. Fuck.
6 actually, but
Wait, how many? Wait, what?
6 hours.
serenading.
Unless you want to
serenading,
donate,
yeah.
Jared.
You were at
equals
2
30 minutes.
hours, 3
I
minutes
was.
ago.
That's what happens with 30 minutes of sub, baby.
You're an asshole. Oh my god. This is what masochism looks like.
It
Holy
is, bro.
shit.
It is.
Dude,
I
he
want
was gonna lower it to 50 minutes. I thought he did.
No, I was gonna, but then I'm like, no. That would,
This is more than I can handle. What the fuck?
I was gonna, but then I was like, nah, that's messed up. I said I would do 30.
That shit. Wow.
Let me just read chat for a second. I'm on that corgi emote. Nice. Or even share the fact that I wanted to play with you. Serenading me, and he hasn't even asked me on a date yet.
Jared, how's your vacay been?
It's been pretty fucking chill. It's been mainly just sitting on a campsite getting shit most days. But, you know, when it was 85 and fucking 90% humidity, that's all you need.
Nice.
Yo, what's up, Chris? That's nice though.
You're it.
Yo, Jared, guess who's going to New York?
Are you?
Yeah.
Hey!
Man.
Wait, did you tip
September.
$1?
September?
Tips
yeah.
tips don't add to
As
the
long as
timer.
I'm not
But
literally
thank
in
you.
court when you show up. We
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try and be there like the 10th. And then so like Jimmy's birthday is gonna be around that time. So I'll be on stream with Ping.
Who
You're
said
gonna
who
hang
said I
out
would
with
show you
everyone on my
time?
birthday, and I'm gonna sit here home alone, depressed.
hearing
I'm gonna
his
be with
birthday.
Wow,
I'm gonna try and meet up with Bean.
that's the
I'll let her
worst
know.
birthday present ever. Fuck you, everyone you loves
Bye,
in New York.
Rosie.
You fucking idiot.
I've been so
Sure.
depressed without them.
It would be so much
Aw.
fun.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
just go to
fuck
New
it.
York real quick.
For your birthday, you should ask for like an Airbnb in New York.
fucking
Oh my
need to
God.
host you. There you go.
That or a VR
Drive to Long
headset.
Island.
I should have went to college in Long Island. Fucking Hofstra would have been around people.
Oh,
Would've been fun.
Hofstra.
Yo, the connections
Yo.
though.
But guess what? I said no to go to a college that was closer to my ex-girlfriend at the time, and that was a
Oh,
mistake. You live and you learn.
Yeah,
Was she your girlfriend?
My buttons are not working to deafen. So I'm gonna have to deafen manually to talk to you guys. You're welcome, BK. Why'd you shave your hair? You look very nice when you had hair. Plus, I've been gone without seeing your streams for a week, and I see this. Because we reached the sub goal, you know? Part of a subathon is making goals so people get incentivized to subscribe, so I had to, you know? Even though I did not expect anyone to subscribe right now. Did the subs go through for the goal? For the foot cam? Yeah, it should have, yeah. Let me see.
99%
always
of the
wrong.
time.
Literally.
I'm back.
Your pee is dumb.
Yeah, I did. There's 5 more left, BK. I didn't
Is
know.
your pee-pee dumb?
How you doing though,
What?
Asta? It's been a while. Well, anyone who's shown up during the subathon, it hasn't been a while. But what's up?
Pingu,
Yo,
is your pee dumb?
is my pee dumb?
You have a dumb pee?
No.
Fuck me and Jimmy all alone out here.
I know.
Actually,
Our dumb pee-pee.
morally, from what I've heard, Ping has the smartest pee-pee so far I've ever heard of.
I just DC. 200.
I don't even know if I want to say smartest pee, but less.
Nah,
pee-pee.
at least the most responsible pee-pee I've heard of. I'm like, damn,
Okay,
bro.
I'll give him that. He's responsible with it.
Oh,
Oogie
God,
cookie clicker. Yeah, I love that guy. I don't know who he is yet, but
I'm fucking
Oogie
crying.
cookie
That's
enjoyer.
false.
Wookie Cookie? My favorite chatter?
yeah.
Don't make a liar out of Oogie Cookie.
What do you mean?
My favorite
He-
part of
if
Oogie
he
is
was
the
always
slut.
lurking, he would
sends me
be
so
top
many
2.
pics.
True.
Oogie cookie
Bro, he would be Jadeb Jamari.
Dude, Jadep, she's always here, but she's never
Bro,
here.
she's
you know?
never here, bro. I'm like, yo,
We were talking
Jadep.
about it. We were having like an hour conversation about Jadep, and not once did she pop in. We
Never.
were like, damn.
Oh, are you like
It
a
was funny.
You know who?
Jamanda.
But you know
yeah.
that she was in the fucking viewing section.
Oh, cause she's top hours. She has the most hours on stream this month. Bing bong. Last time I was on, I was going to Starbucks, but after that, I went shopping for
Fuck, fuck,
school
fuck, fuck,
clothes.
fuck.
Ah, bro,
Hi,
so much
Coco.
Starbucks in here. Rosie.
Coco Butter in the
Literally,
VC?
why?
Coco, join
Is
us.
Coco Butter in the
VC.
VC? VC,
I
Coco,
hope
come
not.
on, come on, come on, come
I
Come
hope
on.
on,
not.
Coco.
Coco, do
Hit
it,
us with
do
it,
it,
hit
I
it,
hope
hit us
not.
with it. Come on.
do it,
Don't do
do
it.
it,
Don't do
Do it.
it. Don't
do
do it.
it, do it,
Do it.
do it.
Do it. Do
Be pressured by all of these men right now. You have to do it, otherwise, I will literally have your account reported.
Join
Uh,
in, BK.
Being
Or
said
let's
no.
do
Do it.
this.
Do it. or you
I
hate
was
this pleasure.
joking.
Join.
Come through. Come through.
Do it or you hate men.
Exactly.
Well, that's why
Do
she
you
won't
hate
do
men,
it.
Coco Butter?
Yeah, she does hate
Ah,
man.
that's fair. Ha,
it or
nice
you
try,
hate
Tino.
pussy.
Dinell!
Wow, you hate men. Reverse sexism, very real.
Yo, thanks for the mushroom, Jimmy. And I went into a wall. Never mind.
Yeah, thanks for the lead pig.
We need
I got
Chopper
you,
and
bro.
Amanda in here. That way it's the whole squad.
Ping feels threatened
Please
by
tell
my
me that's
dick.
Coco Butter. Please tell me that's
Bro.
Coco.
You
Let's
guys
go!
Men, you fucking pussies.
Oh, I'm
That
threatened.
dick
I'm
Your pressure
threatened.
works.
I'm leaving. I'm threatened by.
The dick is so big, I need to leave. It's taking up too much space.
The correct term is man-child. Okay.
Wait, why did I pour this shot if no one is drinking with me and I have 6 hours left?
Oh,
I'm
fuck. You
literally
want me to drink
sticking
with
my
you?
fucking
I'm
mouth
bet.
with
Bet
you.
pig.
All
Shut
right,
your mouth.
let's go.
No.
Literally, I'm getting a shot of Tito's right now.
Do it, pussy.
Wait,
Bro,
what?
tell me how
I've been-
Svedka costs $32 a bottle up here. It's fucking absurd.
That is absurd.
Okay, you gonna lag in these races or what?
Shit's fucking dumb.
Yeah. Sorry for my loud friends chat. I know half of you left because of them, but I'm a nice person, so I let them stick
Half
around.
of us left because we are in the VC.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just joking. I don't even know if anyone left. I'm just saying that. I do have a question. Do you play
Literally,
I do
Why
play
be in- Why be in
Minecraft.
stream if we already VC?
How many of us are in this VC? Oh my god.
Eight.
Literally the whole fucking stream.
These
Oh my god, that was really funny. Holy shit.
Let me get that Don Julio 70 boy. Oh, Don Julio's mad good, bro. I'm not
Julio?
drunk. Do you play? I play Minecraft, yeah, from time to time. Java and Bedrock. I'm in a server for Bedrock with some of these crazies, and Java, my own world.
when I come over, I'm gonna bring some 1942.
Oh yeah, 1942 is pretty good.
Yeah. I got a
Uh,
bad bottle once, and I was really sad. It was really hard.
you know what else is really
was like,
hard?
What?
Beating Gamer in Mario Kart.
Nah.
Not really.
Yeah, you're right. I'm in first. I lied.
Oh, so it's like that, mother. Okay, ninth place. Ninth place. I can change for this. I got this. I got this.
You know, let's not
Come
hit
on,
each
gamer.
other. Let's just okay.
Yo, you
never
ran
mind.
into that.
Bro,
ran into that.
Bro, that was
Time to go
racist.
Fast and Furious mode. That's how much I go. If I curse, I'm sorry. It's just me going like sweat mode.
I-
Oh, lightning, bitches!
hell
Coming
yeah.
for y'all cheeks.
I have Bedrock, so I could play, but I play on mobile though. Yeah, that still works. I mean, I need to make my own Minecraft. Well, I need to make a Minecraft server with
bro.
like 40 people or something, because I feel like a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
want to
know.
play.
I gotta do a Java one. Java ones, they're better. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, but
They
Bedrock
just
is
are.
nice because a lot more people can have access to it.
Yeah, that was the problem with Java. I still have no access to Java consistently.
Come back.
How'd
I
you?
would have
I have to re-download Java.
I would have
My
to buy
other-
a really good computer.
Let's go.
Hank, I have a question. If I have like Minecraft on my PlayStation, am I able to play with you, or is that only with like what Switch?
Minecraft on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's bedrock.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure it
that's
all has to
Bedrock.
be Bedrock version. I don't know which is which, but I think it all has to be on Bedrock.
Yeah, so
I don't
consoles
know.
are bedrock.
PlayStation is Bedrock. Oh,
What's up? I got the Tito's.
What's that?
Tito's.
Let's fucking
Oh.
go.
Russian.
Yo,
I
I
should go
actually
get my
like
tequila.
this is an issue. Like I'm like I don't
expensive
drink.
kind?
Okay.
It was down to mine. Nice. Yo, Dinell just put the best song ever. Oh my god. He just requested
just
the best
Hype you
song.
up. Take another shot. Shot.
I will.
Shot,
but-
shot,
Wait,
shot,
wait, wait.
shot.
I'm trying to add something. My button is not working to deafen you guys, so I'm trying to find a workaround.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
What? You want to
mean,
deafen
it's-
us?
Hey,
Alright.
keep muting
Because
us.
when I try to talk to
kidding?
Chad, I don't want to interrupt your conversation.
Just
you know?
leave the call.
All right, bye.
Just leave the
Tell us
call.
to shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. real
All right,
quick.
shut the
Jesus
fuck
Christ.
up then.
There you
No.
go, dickweed. Drink
just
more
said
and
that?
tell us more.
No, I
Get
don't.
me wet. Tell
I
me to
don't.
shut the fuck up.
Drink it. Hey, that's DMCA. That's DMCA.
I fucking hate everything. You stupid.
Someone play the monkey.
That's a cool
Someone get
emote.
Nate to
though.
play the monkey song.
Oh god. I will leave if I hear that shit.
Jared, were you here when he played the monkey song?
See ya, Moog.
Oh
I
my
don't
I
think
was
so. I
here
was
when
just
you
looking
played
at
the
some-
Guys,
Moog.
shut up. Bye, Moog.
Bye, Moog.
Have a good night. I know you're going to
Bye.
sleep really late. I am, and you're not letting me be a bigger piece of shit, so shut up.
Literally. Shit in my mouth. Come on, do it.
See ya, Moog. Thanks for sticking
many
around
subs?
so long.
How many subs?
How many?
Yeah, how many subs? How many bits?
Wait, to do what?
How many donos?
To do what?
His mouth. I think that's what the nail is asking.
Oh, to poop in my mouth?
In Jared's.
I'm
In
that's what
Jared's
you gotta
mouth?
do, I'm with it.
Bro,
I want
bro,
you in
I
my
will
mouth.
pay.
I'll do it.
I will pay to do that, bro. Are you kidding me? I am a lightweight. Bro, I'm not drunk. I am a lightweight, but I'm not drunk. Wait,
Guys,
Jimmy, are you ready
genuine
for the shot?
question, Should I be like, no, I'm already drinking.
Oh.
But like, should I feel bad? Like, I'm like, oh, I never drank. This is literally like the third or fourth time this week that I'm like drinking. Like, I literally
I'm gonna
was
be
drunk for most of the
drunk.
reset.
7 out of 7 days this week, Jim. Feel
Let's
fucking
Fucking go, Jared.
You're just building up your tolerance.
Chat.
It's all good.
Chat, drinking is bad.
True.
Chat.
He's preparing himself for
all
us.
right,
when
see
we
you,
go to
Asta.
Jimmy's
Thanks for
house.
popping in.
No,
Jared.
PAX East.
I'm gonna kill my
Taxi.
spirit.
Taxis!
Is
Let
this
it-
200?
Taxis, baby,
is this
let's
200
go!
cc? See you, Asta. I'll be
I
back.
can't even go.
All
We're all
right.
going to fucking. I was about to say drink and drive, but I didn't mean to say that.
We're doing that right now.
We're all going to drink and boss.
We're all gonna get drunk and hop in a taxi together.
Exactly.
God, that's beautiful.
Exactly.
Unplanned.
Unplanned.
You know what?
I'm
200cc ain't too bad.
Yeah, let's go 150.
No, it's pretty
now.
annoying.
Yeah.
I
Jared,
told you, 200 is good.
wait,
All
have you been
good
at
in
Lake
here.
George for a week now? Jared?
Just under like 4 or 5 days, I think.
I remember you
Alright.
mentioned something about like coming over to like cameo a movie, and I probably was like not answering because I thought my parents would have been like annoying about it. But they were gone for like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like so mad at myself. I'm like, oh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, honestly, Jim, the last like however many days of sleeping on our fucking couch because the fucking dinette wasn't out and I couldn't actually sleep anywhere comfy. I would have preferred sleeping on your couch making a movie, but you know, we'll work it out. We'll work
One
it out in the
day,
future.
one day.
Yeah. Come on, Jimmy.
Hey, no, I'm an asshole.
You guys want to do
You guys-
teams?
Fucking
No.
producer extraordinaire.
You guys are gonna need the comedic Jew there too.
True.
Comedic
Aw,
Jew.
that's such a great description.
What about the dramatic Jew? What if you find one of
The
those?
bald comedic Jew.
Wait, the perfect
Dude,
comedic or
I-
dramatic?
I don't know.
I've-
I honestly, I mean, movies with like, I don't know, like kind of like over the top Jews from New York are really fun. They're really entertaining.
All right,
I would
bro.
recommend
All
Look at
right.
Bedtime if you ever seen it.
When Jimmy said the bedtime story thing, I was gonna say he should wear some striped pajamas.
Jesus Christ, asshole.
But then I was like, that's too much. But now I'm like, he should wear them.
Guys, should I put the Italian tag on my streams now?
Yes.
Should I
You
just leave it to that?
You should.
Just don't put
Okay,
something.
whatever.
Just don't put something you're not. I got like 3-4 people come in from the Jewish tag, but half of them spoke Hebrew and just left after. But you know, whatever.
But
They're
no,
not your
like,
supporters.
yeah, true. They're not
It's
real
better than this
Brothers.
fucking white supremacy with the ironic shalom.
Shalom, bro. No,
Hello,
they,
You gotta
Shalom.
learn Hebrew better.
I need. Well, I'm streaming too much, bro, and you don't help. You keep gifting subs.
excuses. Fucking Duolingo Hebrew stream, okay? There you go. Do it
Literally.
tomorrow.
Ah,
know
you
the
just
language.
ran into my retro.
Shut up.
Wait, can I
Oh?
get the Duolingo bird with a fucking yarmulke on it?
I mean, there probably is. For Jewish Appreciation Month, there probably is.
Holy
Really
shit,
my
that's
favorite month.
Yeah. It's every month. You guys appreciate me, right?
Yes, it is every
Always.
month.
Except Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Except
Wednesdays.
Wednesday.
No, not Wednesdays. Sundays. There we go.
You don't
Day
appreciate
of
me.
the
Ooh,
Lord.
that looked like it hurt.
Oh my goodness.
Who just
Not
joined the this?
call.
It was Jared.
Jared
What?
left.
Shut the
and
fuck up.
joined.
Shut the fuck up. I literally shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I mean, it
nothing.
was your
nothing.
mom.
Nothing.
Ah,
It was
shit.
his mom.
I'm on mobile. I accidentally closed Discord, except I didn't do anything. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I
It-
saw
it-
nothing.
But yeah, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Joe, what are you talking about, Coco? Shut the fuck up.
Disrespectful to a mod.
I did.
Man.
Hey,
You guys are so. Yo,
Crazy. And we like it.
mala
Need a
mala
drink,
tsibia,
Marco.
bro.
When are we gonna have the Hallmark movie night?
Oh, wait till this Christmas. We'll fucking have a marathon.
Oh
Christmas.
my god,
Dude,
please no.
24
My
years.
mom's been
No,
watching
I'm
fucking
actually
Christmas
so
shit in
mad.
July.
I'm actually so mad. There were like 4 of those fucking
Yeah, you must
Lifetime
have been.
movies
Okay.
filming in my area, and I didn't get cast in any of them. I'm so upset.
Oh.
Aw.
I just wanted to be in some really bad Christmas Hallmark movie about a woman learning the spirit of Christmas by fucking her ex again. Like, I really wanted to be in there.
Are they all
I would have
about the
watched
ex?
it. I would have
That's
actually
basically the
watched
fucking
it.
through line of it. It's fucking, you know, basic fucking wasp woman breaks up with her husband and fucking learns that her edgy son tells her, hey, you should get back with dad because he's not a piece of shit. And that's basically the through line.
Wait,
Get back
Jared.
with that.
I probably shouldn't be like this on stream, but fuck it.
Magic of
I'm-
Christmas.
Huh? Wait,
Hold
what?
on,
What?
hold
What?
on.
Huh? What are you gonna
Do
say
it.
on stream?
I was about to say something. No. It's too appropriate. I just meant me.
Yeah,
No,
go
it's
balls.
COS. No, it's COS. No, it's okay. Like, it's just like my plans. I'm writing a movie to like film during Christmas. It's Christmassy. It's about a Salvation Army Santa that gets wrapped in illegal activity. If you want to interested in that, Jared. Little short
Sounds
film.
like Bad Santa.
A little bit, but like
I want to be in a
Dude,
movie.
Santa?
for that
Santa?
one.
Playing Santa has been my favorite role of the last few years, so I'm not gonna lie. That sounds fucking.
Bro, do you have any bald roles?
I'll get one. I'll write one just for you.
All right, thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
You have a Mr. Clean in your script,
So there's
Yeah.
a
You guys
serious.
might
Oh,
make
it's
me
so-
like this again.
There's a serious drama I'm gonna write about someone with an like really like bad illness that like loses their hair and shit. Like, you want to be in that thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
Good at
actually-
acting?
I went to acting school when I was a kid.
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
you and Liam and Jared are all fucking actors. The fuck is this?
I mean,
We
I've
all
been
play
an actor
guitar.
since I was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, why have you not written a script with all of us in it yet, you fuck?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
you-
Jimmy.
No,
Jimmy,
not
I'm just
BK
trying
though.
to
Or
ball.
Jimmy, for
Janelle.
how long, Jimmy?
I
a
know.
missed
Jesus
opportunity.
Christ, it is. Oh my
What's
god.
You
You should have one with Gamer in it.
Oh
Well,
my
I went to
God.
acting school and then I left. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they made us do a kissing scene between me and my cousin, and we're just like, no.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
what? Why'd you say it
Or-
like that, bro?
Oh.
Oh. Damn.
Oh.
A
Jimmy's
little,
into that, bro.
No, wait.
It's
So
like-
was it
Wait,
like-
wait,
so was
wait,
it-
wait,
was-
wait, wait.
Okay.
I
Okay,
mean, come
okay.
on, was it
Bro.
like your first cousin or?
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, bro. My first cousin.
Hey,
Yo, even better.
we just play Sweet Home Alabama, please. Yeah.
Bro. But no, I think it was like a romance scene. I don't remember if kissing. I think kissing was involved, and we were like, "Can we not do the kissing part?" And they're like, "No, you have to do that." And I was like,
Couldn't
"But
get
that's
into
my
character.
cousin."
Wow.
And they're like, "Well, you got to do that."
Well, find a new scene
Yeah.
partner, pussy.
And
No,
then
just
I'm
be a
like,
better actor, dude.
and then I was, yeah,
Oh,
you're
it
right.
was your cousin.
Bro, I think you like one of your cousins, Jimmy, and you're not telling anyone this shit, bro. That's what this
No.
sounds
Italian
like.
blood.
I told
Oh,
you,
shut the
because he's
fuck
Italian.
up, Italian
Keep it in
boy.
the family.
I said it
Fuck
earlier.
off
You
my
don't
soul.
miss it.
Shut up.
It's a gabagoo. It tastes better in the family.
Literally.
What?
I'm
It doesn't
first,
taste
you
like
guys
fucking
suck.
gabagool? You're doing
Just
it
kidding.
wrong.
This
Better
is
than
a hate
Literally.
crime. I'm convinced. Shut the fuck up.
It's okay. Some hate crimes are
Nah.
justified.
It's not your
Yeah,
fault,
but
Jimmy.
it's not-
The mob made you
Everybody
do
hates Jimmy
it.
Day.
Yeah.
But
Should
yeah,
Get drunker for this.
but I honestly wanted
what,
Hertz.
what? Do you know what were you about to say to me?
Would you meet your ex? I was gonna ask. And
Would I
then I was
what?
gonna say in the family reunion or something.
Oh.
Okay, shut the fuck up. King. What were you gonna say?
Aw, wait, I gotta mod you, BK. Thank you.
You guys have too much power of mod. Like, she has the infinity.
Shut the
stones
fuck
like
up,
your mom.
gamer.
Thank
Do
you,
it.
BK. Thank you, BK.
You wasn't even on my chat. What are you talking about?
Ah!
Listen,
Oh,
listen,
Glitching out.
listen,
Glitching out.
fact and logic.
All right.
Gamer.
So
Bitch.
I honestly wanted my cousin to leave so I could continue acting class, but she would we both had to be like you know what I mean? I was trying to be nice. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to go anymore. This is weird.
You should have just lied about being related.
there was-
so it would make it seem less weird.
What? You guys are
I just
weird.
found
I
out
would
we weren't
still know.
related.
If you act,
You know-
Pink, if you act like you're not related, it's not technically incest.
Bro, shit.
act better.
Nah, I mean, don't say nah.
Bro, your mic is like a goddamn robot. What the hell? But
I gotta plug it in and back it.
plug it back in, bro. But yeah, there was a cute girl there, and she was talking about like commercials and stuff, and like I made everyone laugh. I remember, and then
Yo, your cousin's selfish as fuck. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out. You got connections to make.
nah, honestly, if I became like an actor, I wouldn't have met you guys. So my life would be better. So I don't know what I did there, to be honest.
Yeah, you really
Well, you-
fucking wow.
You might have met
Looks like it wouldn't
Jared,
be a
and then you
struggle to
would've-
be
The
an
real
actor
part
now.
is like, if I broke it in the real world, I wouldn't be on Twitch, and I wouldn't have met any of y'all. But also, that'd be sad.
That would be sad.
I mean, the way I see it, it's like it's just you don't know what the alternative is, so who cares?
No, this is the platform to start our acting careers.
See
or
ya,
whatever we wanna
Jimmy.
do. You know?
No, literally.
Thanks
though.
for the lurk.
Oh, no problem. I'll see you.
If you want
Not
an idea of my
Jimmy.
characters, look at my
There's
cube.
Timmy, Chimmy, and Jimmy.
I love that.
Chimichurri?
Jimmy's the coolest though.
No, I don't know if I'll ever make it anywhere other than on Twitch. My parents like stop being unrealistic with wanting to make movies, but like, whatever. Have fun,
Fuck
I guess.
them.
Why he would, bro? He's
Jimmy,
into
I'll
incest.
say it.
I was joking. I was joking. It was totally
That was a good
joke.
joke, right? You get it? Like, never mind.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the joke was, but fuck them.
No, you said fuck them.
Yeah.
I said he
That was the
would
joke.
because he's into incest. Right?
Oh my fucking god.
like that.
I hope they're not watching.
No, stop it.
I really hope they're not either.
Do they watch?
The only time my dad ever watched was on my Christmas special where I was literally dressed as Santa Claus.
Nice.
Okay, well, if they ever watch
he was
Pink
there?
Stream, when are we fucking you guys? Come on. My schedule's wide open.
I just get a text.
Why did I just
Literally,
get
it's like, which of
lightning?
your friend wants to fuck? Because
Oh
we're
my
just...
god. My parents would hate you. I love you though, Jared. It's
Oh,
okay.
they literally would, and I'm so... I will literally flash my fucking nails in front of them. I will be so fucking glad to. I don't.
We love that.
Ping, how's my mic now? Is it better or what?
Yeah, it's
It's
good
Big
now.
fingers.
Okay, I don't understand this bug. It's probably because I'm using a Chromebook or something. It like
Chromebooks
I
are
understood
powerful
none
as
of
fuck.
that.
Sinal, shut up.
I still have this drink in front of me.
Drink it.
Drink it! I'm literally
Drink it.
almost done with mine. Literally, Pink.
Shot,
I'm almost
shot,
done with mine.
shot.
I'm drinking a high
Yo,
noon right
chug,
now.
chug,
Almost done.
chug.
Jimmy goes,
Should I chug
Jimmy,
it?
Jimmy goes
Chug.
from the most
Chug it.
patient boy I've ever
Chug
heard
it?
to the most impatient piece of shit I've ever witnessed, and it's
Literally-
so funny.
Literally Italian.
Chug it.
I can't
He's
help it.
so gentle and kind, and he's
Do
like,
it.
"You fucking piece of shit! I've been waiting."
I
5
can't,
fucking
bro.
minutes for a shot."
I can't. It's too much.
Oh,
If
we
I
got
You
cheese
bitch,
land.
you tricked me.
Hey, man.
what? What are you doing?
Damn.
What do you think I'm gonna? What are you doing, bro? What you thought I was?
you were gonna do
What
it.
you thought I was
said
gonna
so
chug? You thought I was gonna chug half a bottle of whiskey?
As
Oh, then now how
10
much do you
hours, let's
increase the
go,
screen?
baby!
What are you crazy?
Really 10 hours?
Thanks for the
Hype
gifted
train, guys.
subs,
Another
though.
hype train.
Damn.
Let's fucking go,
Oh,
guys. Another
Rustbox
hype
got it.
train.
Danelle, you're not gonna even eat tomorrow, dude.
Is he actually at 10 hours? Because I'll fucking vomit.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Vomit,
You're
vomit,
disgusting.
Yes,
vomit.
You're
You was
disgusting.
Jared,
Alright,
you can put
bring
him to
back-
11
bring
with
it
only $5.
You self-centered
Yeah,
son of a bitch.
I mean, if only I could work a job in the next 2 weeks to afford
Fuck
that.
him.
But you know,
Damn.
things
Well,
are go crazy, brother.
Well, I'm self.
Damn.
Bro, you thought I was gonna chug half a bottle? I wouldn't
Fuck
do
him.
I thought you were gonna just take a sip from the bottle.
No, I
Take a
have.
fat swig,
Yeah,
homie.
little
homie.
baby sip.
But I have a shot
Yeah.
in front of me. Alright,
I would give more, but I gotta save up for Jared's. I need to make him feel pain too.
Chat, fat swig, fat swig,
Swig,
fat
fat
swig,
swig,
fat
fat
Bro,
swig.
Jared, you gonna do 30 minutes of sub?
I'm actually gonna do 2 hours of sub. You got me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
How long you wanna go?
Ooh.
Like
How long can
5
you go?
months.
3 years actually.
Jesus. Oh my god.
I might do 1 sub
Y'all are
equals 1
fucking
day
crazy.
actually next year.
Dude, one
Nice.
sub, 1 year.
All right.
I'm throwing in a
One sub
towel.
month, 1 millennium.
Yeah. Dude,
Talk
you
about
literally
full
can't
life
die.
content
You
creator.
literally, as long as you get gifted subs, you literally can't fucking die. It's
No,
amazing.
What's the
I'm
point?
immortal. I'm
Yeah.
immortal by virtue of Twitch subs.
That's
We're
so
gonna have a
funny.
nighttime stream.
He's on like, you're on like life support. Please, 1 more year, $5.
One more sub.
So I'm on life support. I get extended by a fucking prime sub.
You know what
Fucking
though?
amazing.
People who live in never mind. They probably don't have access
Yeah.
to internet like that.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
Jersey.
shout out to Hoboken, fucking underprivileged areas.
Um,
I
You know,
have
I'm
a
gonna
friend in
take-
Jersey.
Janelle, I'm gonna take a shot for you.
Yay!
How about 10? 10 shots.
Shots.
10 shots for
Shots.
10 subs.
Oh, fuck. Turn down for what?
Ugh,
That's one.
Ah, fuck it. I'll take the blue shell.
that's strong.
Give me, bitch.
Hey, you're taking the blue shell for
Don't be a
one?
pussy.
What? I just took
Look
it.
at
No.
I know you said it was
No,
strong.
no,
Take
no, no.
another.
What? Huh?
Huh?
If it's strong, that means you should take another.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Take
That's just the
another.
rules.
Take
You gotta
another.
you gotta have something to chase it down.
Bro, if I'm not gonna get peer pressured in real life, I'm not gonna get peer pressured on VC. Okay. I'm not
Ping,
taking
I will share. I will share my video right now. I will chug this new high noon if you take another shot.
I don't know what that is.
It's vodka and
No,
just,
what
like,
mix? No
seltzer.
mix. No mix.
The vodka seltzer, high
Yeah.
noon seltzer.
I like it.
Yeah, they're just literally vodka seltzers. They're like White Claw, but with actual vodka. That's
Exactly.
literally it.
Bro, I don't know. A shot is much
I'll chug this
more,
one right
bro.
now. No, it's
Well,
not.
wait,
Yeah,
Ping,
it is.
Ping,
It's
how-
40% right
how
away.
much do you, Ping? How much do you weigh? I'm curious now.
Whoa, that's a personal question right there.
Goddamn right it is. I'm 205, bitch. How much the fuck do you weigh?
You're 205. Yeah, but you're tall.
I'm like the
tall
same
as
as
shit.
Jared. I'm literally like the same.
Oh,
height.
I'm less than that. See you, furry.
I'm gonna guess
Why
you're
is
like
that funny?
145.
Thanks for
Just
staying
from
around.
Your physique, you're 145, 160.
Bro, I am not. I am not. I know I look like a Holocaust survivor, but I'm not. Don't laugh at that. That's messed up.
We're gonna get canceled now. Oh my god.
It's okay.
Dude, this VOD is not gonna survive on YouTube.
Bro, they banned my my one of my VODs from the sub.
Oh, I saw that. That was
Yeah.
really
What?
funny
I
on Twitter.
repealed it too. Like, what could it?
Bro,
It
when
said
you
for
get
child
called out for
content.
minor
Me.
endangerment,
Me.
bruh,
What do I do?
you-
That's
you
child
got
content.
something.
That.
Wait,
That
what
was
did you
weird.
get called
It's
out
on
for? Child endangerment?
Yeah, something like that. I was like, what?
The Drake Bell of Twitch. Oh my god.
Because you look like a kid.
Maybe you
don't,
should put your stuff
though.
on like not child friendly, like 18 plus.
It
and
was
all
that. It was that kid filter
I
you
do.
used.
Put it on your fans list.
Was
Wait,
it the
that
kid filter?
Oh, imagine if it was the
Was
kid
it?
filter. I don't
Tell me
know.
your upload said this is for kids, and you fucked up like that. Like, no, that's not what that.
Why
meant,
would I?
brother.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do
No, they popped in when you had that kid voice going and you had the kid filter on. They were like, "Oh my god, this is illegal."
that.
Watch
This
got
is just
reported.
illegal.
Wait, did you actually pick? Because maybe that's it.
He did.
Holy
If it's
shit.
that,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
punch
What?
my wall. Next sub goal, punching my wall.
How many subs for that?
Well, you're drunk, so I don't know if I want to tell you.
No, I'm
Oh
We remember how drunk Jimmy was.
yeah, I have to put a foot.
Consent.
Why don't you
God
suck
damn it! I gotta
off?
put a
Look at
foot.
this.
Can't give
Slowly.
consent, Jimmy.
What's up?
I gotta put a foot camera now.
Wait, what did you say about consent? What, Pokemon?
Ace would be
He
happy.
said you're drunk. You can't give consent to gifting stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm bad with money. I legit just bought like fucking 6
Bye.
movies on Amazon. I'm bad
Oh
with
my
money.
god.
No, honestly, when people are drunk and they give me money, it feels weird. I'm like, bro, are you sure about this? And then the next day, I'm like,
Where's
This is-
clear?
This is making me want to go live
Wouldn't be
right
me
now.
being a
on my
bartender.
phone.
Go live,
drunk
bro.
people
Go
giving
live.
money.
Should I?
no, don't go
Do it.
live.
I won't go live.
Steal
You
our
need
his
all the
viewers.
views.
And
No, you need all the views.
Wow.
Plus, I said I was gonna take a break for a few weeks, so I want to build anticipation. You know.
Hi, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
I know they're assholes. They gave money when it's your birthday tomorrow. How messed up is that?
Whose birthday? What?
It's
My
messed
my
up that he
brother's
allowed
birthday.
it to continue to be 30 minutes.
Is that your
sub,
brother?
so
Yeah, that's
blame
my
him.
brother.
What's up, Ping's brother?
Bucko.
Yo, shout out to your birthday!
Happy fucking birthday!
Not yet. Not yet. Oh my god.
Happy
Happy
early birthday!
They're the
Birthday,
first.
Now take him to a strip club.
What? He's 16, bro.
Bro!
So you're right, bro. We're going to the strip club tonight.
Don't
shit.
don't let him throw the whole like 9 hours thing on
Wait,
us
wait.
because it's his fault for the one sub per 30
He's
minutes. I'm just saying.
16. Hold on, I want to say congratulations. You know, happy 16th. And if you feel bummed out that you can't
Congratulations
do a lot,
On living
shush,
that
shush,
long?
shush.
The drunk
Yes, hold on.
guys.
If you feel like, oh, I can't get drunk or do anything, fake IDs are wonderful. You can start considering them
Bro,
soon.
Why would you say
Wow.
that on?
Dude.
Why would you say that on
I'm just kidding.
stream,
I'm
bro?
kidding. I'm kidding.
Why?
Dude, you just got called
Wow,
out.
literally, Twitch, shout
Hashtag
out
cancel
banning
Jimmy.
your
I ain't
boy.
gonna lie.
Twitch, that guy was
I'm gonna agree with Jimmy.
that was your boy
What a
Jimmy on
fucking criminal.
Twitch.tv. Twitch, you could handle the rest.
Twitch.tv / your boy Jimmy with 2 Y's. Don't get it mixed up. Make sure to report that one.
I spelled it wrong. Cancel
Cancel
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Love that.
I love how we say cancel Jimmy with 2 Y's, but not his full name. Like your boy Jimmy.
You mean
Yeah,
James?
your boy Jimmy with B-G-O-Y is their name.
It's
They're
not
just
James,
all
it's Jimothy.
black.
Don't lie to them.
Wait, what did you say, Jared? What? I'm literally canceling my name rebrand. Holy
I
shit.
said your boy Jimmy with fucking Y in the middle instead of I. He's getting all the black right now.
Oh. Imagine fucking being
How
a
about this,
idiot.
Jimmy? Like the Y and I swapped around.
Oh,
Jaime.
shit.
Jaime.
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 name's
Your boy
Jaime.
Jaime.
Your boy Jaime. You
Oh
should change
my
it to
God.
that.
Do
Out.
I have like a the Y that I like in life?
You know, I think the J name meme's dead, but do I revive it? Joy Jimmy for 60
Oh
days?
no,
It's
I was
not
even
dead.
like I even had my name in Discord as y'all going crazy with the J names.
Yeah,
But I love it.
it's not dead. Like when we play Gartic, people come in with J names all the time. Even Diego, who I don't even think you know who Diego is. So
Is he
Diego.
Diego?
He changed his stuff to
Go, Diego, go.
Diego, yeah,
There you go.
Diego
Oh, that's
Gelatin.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
he's a cool guy in the stream, and as soon as he saw me and Doctor change their names to J, he was like, "Oh, I'm Diego now." It
Oh
was
my
so
god,
funny.
it's so
God.
toxic. It's not even real.
I'm not
He
gonna
gets-
And then I
lie.
saw Liam change his name with a J. I'm like, oh
Yep.
god.
That's
I
Spread it
funny.
like
think,
Corona.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think
Please
if I
don't.
reach like close to 1,000, I think I'm gonna have some toxic J merch or like JP merch or
That's
Jeremy
smart.
or whatever.
What's
Yes.
next sub goal? Next sub goal is maybe hitting up X Crush.
How many subs? How many subs?
Okay, maybe. Okay, not
How
next.
many subs? How many subs? Tell me right fucking now. How many
No,
subs?
you're drunk. Don't spend money. Oh my
I know,
god.
but
You're
it's
drunk.
content.
Fucking tell
Yeah,
us,
That's
pussy.
what
yeah.
happens when you're drunk. You
It's
hit up
250.
You
X's.
can't just say
Yeah.
this and no fucking
Fucking
like
dumbass.
clue. Do I have to keep, wait, do I just need to keep like fucking gifting you subs until you do it? Like
No, no, no,
what's
no,
the
no,
goal?
no, no,
He's
no.
just
Okay,
gonna
okay, okay,
randomly
okay,
give
okay, okay,
subs Until he says, "All right, I guess I gotta do it."
No, okay. That's later on. The next sub goal, I don't know yet. I want to buy one of those eye tracker things, and like look at like
Watch porn? What?
yeah, watch sussy.
Oh my god! At 300 subs, get yourself banned off Twitch by watching porn.
Literally.
Yo.
Nah, money comes in.
Yo, porno stream. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Porno
Yo, you
stream,
just
let's
saw-
I'm really
go.
watching porn by yourself. Nah, I'm with the stream.
Oh, I'm
Oh my
first.
God.
I'm a god.
You hit me with the bomb. What the hell?
I did.
You're
I'm not
fucking
drunk,
lucky.
Mr. Jake.
No.
I only
I'm
took
not
2
trying to
shots.
bad Things. I got 9.
Oh my gosh, shut the fuck up!
Or
Your
3.
brother, Mr. Ping. I'm fucking dead.
All right, young Mr. Ping. He might be. You should actually. Is that your brother?
No,
You
it's
should share a
my.
drink with them for
Oh.
16th. You
Bro,
know.
he's 16.
Just kidding.
On
Oh
stream.
my god, that's
On
disgusting. I
I'm just kidding. It's kidding.
oh my god.
Jimmy gets so toxic when he's drunk.
That's not toxic. That's fine.
I love
Dude,
toxic Jimmy. It
it
makes me
gets
feel
worse.
normal.
Oh my god.
Are you hearing from the
Jimmy
living
going
room?
off his
Oh,
fucking rails being
it's because
toxic
they're
makes
so
me feel
there's.
We crazy
ahead.
with a K, okay, man?
That's like me saying cunt with a K, okay?
Love
Did you
that.
just
What?
say the word?
Oh my
Did you
god,
say
I
with the C
can.
word? Did you?
You say cunt on Twitch? Wait, what?
It's a K word.
You could
Cunt
say
with a
cunt.
K.
You could say cunt.
Yo.
Literally,
Actually-
Australians
Tuesday.
Australians say it all the time.
Yeah, no,
No, we
legit
stream-
though. Wait. We need to tell Pinkspread this information. When you turn 16, you're legally allowed to say cunt, just so you know. No one can yell at you.
Aww.
Only with a backwards K.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why it's such a bad word.
It's not. Well, in
Just
America it
sounds so
is.
strong.
It
But
does sound so.
why?
But I don't care. I
Well,
like hearing
just-
it. It
just
makes
say
me
it.
feel better.
Here's the
It-
thing, Pink.
it-
You can't say it on YouTube or else you'll get like DSA or something like that. I think.
You can
But
say it on Twitch though.
Instead, say it like this:
don't
see you next
understand it.
Tuesday or twaint or twant.
All right, sticking her a cunt. There we go.
No, twant.
Oh
It's
my
like
Bro,
when-
God.
like-
just
like
don't
YouTube
say
like twant's like-
simp, right? Just kidding. You could say it.
Yo, fucking filthy little.
That's
slut.
that's
know who's a
illegal in
simp?
every age. Sorry,
Hey,
yeah,
do you
who's a
know
simp?
who's a simp?
I'm happy you're
Me,
enjoying,
you
Jake.
know. You know.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I
It was a simp.
do. Don't worry about it.
It's obvious.
Jim's a
It's
pimp.
so
Oh, wait.
obvious.
I know.
Yeah!
Oh my god, yeah, dude. It's so
Yeah!
fucking true. 110%.
Bro,
oh my
he's-
god.
he hasn't shown up
Don't
since.
tell me it's me.
No,
Stop
it's
it.
not.
It'll hurt my feelings.
It is
He
you for
hasn't
me.
showed up.
Yeah. Everyone's mind is connected, except not
I'm
really.
lost.
Do you actually know what simp stands for?
I actually have
Yes.
no idea what we're talking
Girls
about.
in my
Super
pants.
intelligent
Super
monkey power or something.
No.
No,
Special
squirrels in my
no,
pants.
No. It stands for
You said
special
it so well,
individuals
BK.
manifesting positivity.
Oh, special
That's what it stands-
individuals manifesting positivity. That's beautiful.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
You're all
no,
simps
it
in my
stands for
mind.
squirrels in my pants.
Oh. We don't watch Phineas and Ferb anymore, okay? I know you
I
have.
do.
I know you have.
okay?
I thought it meant
I
squishy
lie.
in my pussy, but I guess I was
Okay,
way
well
off.
they weren't allowed to say nuts in my
Squishy in
pants,
my
so they had to say
pussy.
squirrels in my pants.
Squish in the puss?
Oh.
What?
Why not
I love
ants?
Squishing the Puss. Favorite fucking song.
Oh my fucking God.
GG.
GG's.
Um.
Whoa, pimp? Why is Rosie saying pimp? Don't talk about Jimmy that way. I know he is, but
Yo.
Pimp
Ping in
Jimbo!
my pants.
pimp
Ping in my
Jimbo.
Don't
pants.
give him a big head like that. Come on now.
All right,
Me?
you have a small head. I'm sorry.
You're so mean.
Yeah, that's why I unmodded her.
Wow.
You
Well,
didn't mod
don't
me
give
to
him a
begin
big
with.
head.
Don't
No,
tell
I
them
do
that.
have
It
a big
ruins the
head, though.
joke.
I will speak my truth.
Wait,
Well,
who got unmodded? Coca Butt?
I never got a sword, okay?
I did.
Never
I did.
modded.
All right, I'll mod
No,
you
I
right
got
now.
unmodded.
I'll mod you right now.
Why? Just so you could take it away?
Yeah.
Mod me.
Exactly.
Mod.
No, you went
Mod
against me in the
Rosie.
war. I'm not modding
Mod
you, Jimmy.
Rosie.
Oh yeah,
Mar-
Jimmy, you
Okay,
did.
VIP me.
You was spamming Among Us.
No.
I legit recruited
Give
somebody,
give
and
the
Pink
mod to
remembers
Rosie.
he saw
Rosie
me
needs a
recruit
sword.
somebody for $5.
Oh yeah, thank you for
Remember that?
I'm
that.
getting beer belly. I'm just like.
Thank you
moving
for
my
that, I
face with my
appreciate that.
stomach.
Nice.
Num 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 num
Oh,
I
my God,
literally-
that man
I
had
have-
cheeks.
I wasn't gonna drink today, have
Stop,
anything
Dino.
bad, but then I had spicy nugs from McDonald's. I'm like, oh, today's already down the toilet, so here we fucking go.
Right? Awesome.
Yo,
That's
those
right.
spicy nuggets are so good though. You can't even lie.
Aren't they?
They're
like
so
honestly,
good.
like I'll gladly be a fucking 300-pound fat kid again if I get to eat those every day.
I
Holy shit.
I won't be, but they're good.
You should do what are they called? Hot pox or whatever.
You should do a tier list.
Pockets.
I thought you were about to
Oh.
say you should do a man versus food.
No, like Nico Avocado.
Yeah, my 3,000 calorie cheat day. Wait, no, that's fucking nothing. 12,000.
Dinell, read chat.
Yeah, Dinell.
Oh
Rude.
yeah. I was
Let
thinking
it
of that while
go.
looking at my stomach. Like, yes.
I want a sword.
Oh fuck, my
Honestly, I gotta stop modding people who are mods for like 30 channels. So I don't know if Rosie's a mod for other channels. I'm just saying
No,
that.
she's not.
Oh, she's not.
I'm,
I
I'm
would.
only a mod for one person and they never stream, so you can always
Yeah.
mod me.
I think I
You a
would.
mod in my chat?
Who?
I'm
Fine.
good.
But I'm the best
Ah,
mod.
No, you're
Because
not.
you don't even
I
show
have
up. What are
mod
you
in
talking
every
about?
fucking
She
channel.
shows up.
No,
I
Show
think.
up,
Got-
but not mine.
Doctor and Coca got best mods.
You don't need
No,
a mod.
Doctor is
Jimmy.
not a good mod at all anymore.
Doctor's a great mod.
Not
How
anymore.
long has he
Jimmy,
been on
you let it
stream?
happen.
Not anymore. 8 days and he's
Doctor's
barely
just-
been here. No.
Doctor's just vibing. I
He's the
don't
new
know.
Nick.
No, he's not. Don't you dare fucking.
Yo,
slander
Sam,
Doctor
what's
like
up?
that.
I'm
Jesus
dead.
Christ.
Oh my god, that
He's
was
the
a
best
good
mod, I ain't gonna
one.
lie.
We're
The
having a
last thing he
party.
said was, "I'm not mod." Fucking weeks ago. Wow.
I think Rosie would be a great mod, to be honest. And she's really
I agree.
awesome.
Best mod I
But-
know is Nick, because me
Yo,
and Jimmy, I
Sam.
mean, me and Nick had a thing for Jimmy. We was gonna do
Oh.
something to him.
Uh,
Not nothing
What?
bad, like something wholesome.
That sounds awful.
I said something wholesome.
Jimmy, you
I
need to get a
believe it.
chastity belt.
Wait, you had the super spicy ramen again, Jake? Damn.
Damn. Oh my god, my Joy-Cons broke.
Oh, you've had it too, Rosie? It actually tastes good. I like how it tastes.
That why you been drifting so much, like Jimmy? And
Yeah,
you
like
feel
so I broke my controller because I like threw it during Mario Party with like Liam, and I was mad, and now it doesn't turn properly.
oh, so you got drift.
That's what you get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I get the pro controller.
I know. I
Pink
need
should
one of
eat some
those.
of those noodles. I should with no
And I
water.
don't know if you noticed.
Oh,
this,
but the
like,
flavoring's so
Liam,
nice.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
But Liam, he has an OLED, right? And I noticed this a lot. He doesn't use the Joy-Con grip like as you do for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Me.
Well, I think Liam just like takes it apart if I'm not mistaken.
He does. He plays with it like separate. I'm like, that's so
Do that.
fucking weird.
I play
Yeah.
with one hand under my ass and another one behind my head.
But yeah, I was gonna say I would mod Rosie, but I'm not modding anyone until we're bigger. Until I need more mods, because otherwise I feel like it's just a power trip
Unmod
for Dino.
Doctor.
Oh,
Mod
also-
Rosie.
Nah,
Don't
unmod
nah.
Doctor.
That'd be funny, but nah.
Jimmy, I have something to say. Sorry for interrupting.
Also, if Rosie would wanna
you
be.
know that Subathon, like when you had Odyssey, that was only because me and Spiny knew him.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it was like a little thing. We just said that he was cheating on Spiny.
Bye. Have a.
No,
It
it's
became
fine,
a
bro.
meme. It became a meme in his chat. Like
Oh, he's a
you
streamer.
can see him. Yeah, he was one of the streamers I added in Mario Kart Craziness 2. The first one that you see.
Oh, okay. Don't know that.
All right, bye, Jake.
Bye.
Um,
I
Name
mostly
drop.
been vibing with him. Cause I like taking a break.
have a happy birthday. EU
Happy
road
birthday,
trip.
in case I don't see you tomorrow.
Happy birthday,
E-
Bucko.
EU road trip sounds like fun, actually. No invites though. It's kind of fucked up, but whatever. It's okay.
Subathons are actually
Yo.
so OP for growth. They're amazing.
Are they?
You've been
Oh,
doing well. Pig,
fi-
you
they're
literally are
finally-
like at like what? You're at like 633. Of course they are. Look at you. You gained like 100 followers within like a week.
I don't think followers matter that much, to be honest. I think people who
Take it.
come back and chill matter. Well,
Well,
followers
people-
matter for affiliate, but after that, I don't know. Yo, what's
no, like-
up, Nathan?
One of these people that followed you at the hundreds bound to come back and chill with you. You know,
Yeah,
you've
unless-
probably seen so many people.
There's some people that chill, but the problem is they're chilling at hours that I normally don't stream on. So I honestly don't think I'm gonna see much. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Even
Plus,
then, like,
I play so many different games that like I don't know.
yeah.
I mean,
The subathon is not it. I am thinking about growth and stuff, but like for me, the Mr. Beast plan is a bit more on my mind for that. Subathon is more for like making money for the Mr. Beast goal, but also like just chilling with everyone and doing crazy
Well,
stuff for a cool
don't sell
YouTube
it
video.
short,
And
because it's hard to gain follows on this platform, as you know. It's probably taking
True.
you like a bit to like get to even like 500. So you gained 100 in a week. That's a good accomplishment. Be proud of it. Don't undersell it.
unless you play Gartic all day. Am I
Hey,
wrong?
I had to
Am I
do what
wrong?
I had to do. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm
I
not saying it
totally
about
get
you. I'm just saying like there are like I don't know. There are ways you can grow on Twitch, but you I don't know. I feel like you would be depressed doing it, and not you personally, like just in general, you know. Unless you really love
probably
what
me
you're doing,
personally, too.
right?
For me growing, I talked to BK and Danielle about this. I legit had 2 people come and talk to me about promoting my Twitch, like by like them having like a follow or something. I don't know. What
Oh
it was.
yeah. Those are bot.
Yeah,
like
also-
yeah,
But yeah, ban those.
Scammers.
yeah.
I didn't deal with it. I'm at 48 already.
Sam, you're going
I'm ready to
alone?
get my emotes.
Welcome back, Nathan. Sorry for interrupting.
Also, I have a question. Wouldn't it having like a subathon be better, like September?
I think summer is better because
Oh.
people are like off of
Out,
school
like,
and
in-
work and stuff.
That too.
Yeah, the summer's usually where it pops off. I don't know what everyone's plan is, but I'm thinking the best thing to do is, like summer's good for subathon. I might do a 12-hour stream on my birthday, or like at least like a little birthday special stream. And then I think Christmas would be a good time for like a charity stream.
Yeah, Twitch just added a charity button for charity streams. No! I'm so close!
Gotta-
Yes!
I'm also gonna do a
Yes! Oh my
charity stream
god!
on, Christmas.
Oh my
Bruce, you
god!
forwarded my motherfucking. Ooh.
Oh, that's
gotta
Jimmy.
have a Hallmark movie night during Christmas.
Oh, we will. No. Christmas, like the Discord will go crazy. We'll have a lot of movie nights and we'll
You
play some
gonna wear
fun
nothing but a
games.
Grinch suit all day, like or something?
Oh yeah.
Don't you lie to me and let me down, Jimmy. I hate Christmas.
No. Legit though.
Oh yeah,
Like
BK
I was.
not the one about Christmas. Wait,
I don't
BK,
know.
so just moved to Australia.
No.
True. But no, I was kind of depressed. Like last year, I tried to make the most of the holidays with some of my friends, but like I got some cool people to share with, and we have a little bit of a Twitch audience. So Halloween will be cool. We'll play scary games, watch some movies, celebrate. Christmas, do the same. It'll be a nice time for Twitch. I think we're gonna do really well during the holiday season.
So I'm literally the Grinch and Scrooge of Christmas.
I'm gonna
Yes.
make you like Christmas, Cocoa. You walk.
Yeah, set up the foot cam.
Do I have
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, yes you
Dude.
do. You
I
do
know,
have
I know, I
to.
know.
We
I
hit
know.
a fucking sub goal.
Show
What
me
the
them
fuck is
toes.
wrong with you?
Okay, God. I'm gonna do it on my other phone. Not my other phone, but a different phone.
Just have a little cam on the bottom
I
underneath
will,
your
yeah.
face.
Hey, look.
Like
It's
he, like, if
Diego.
he just duct taped the,
Diego.
microphone.
Everybody say
Diego.
hi, Diego.
Hi, Diego. Hi.
Yeah, he changed his name to Diego in the Discord.
Is Jimmy gonna be in the Grinch for Christmas stream?
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
I
missed the
ordered a
map.
Grinch
Alright, I'll
onesie
set it
for
up
my
after this
Subathon.
game.
Are you gonna duct tape it like to the bottom of your desk or something like that, Ping?
Probably against the
I
wall. I'll
was
just put
so
it.
prepared to be sad. Aw.
Aw. What's up? What's up, Diego? Yeah, that makes sense, Sam. Hell yeah.
What's up?
Join the VC, Diego. Everybody's in here already.
Yeah, Diego.
Indeed, I hope I can meet some nice people as well. Bro, honestly,
Jimmy, are you in first?
No.
everyone shut up. I'm talking to chat. Thank you. Sorry, I learned
I
from
was talking
BK.
to chat too.
Shut up, BK.
Honestly,
Three
traveling.
Red Shells Classic. 4.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
God, guys, let Ping talk.
Yeah. So honestly, traveling alone seems so freaking awesome. Like I've always wanted to do that. I did do that for like a month. It wasn't traveling, but I was in Tokyo studying abroad, and I met so many cool people in a hostel. Like there's so many hostel like things and that where you could meet like so many cool people in Europe. Like we don't have that here, or we don't have that culture here. I feel like because obviously we're just one big country and then one big country to the north and to the south. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy, Sam. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Thanks for the muscles. Muscles. All right, yeah.
Traveled alone by
I'm gonna
foot
lie,
just
I
'cause
did
of
see something
pee-pee.
on Instagram about New York Ping. Like a bishop got robbed at New York, like in New York. I don't know if you saw it on social
Like
media.
the
yet.
chess piece.
Like no, bishop like in church.
That sucks. I didn't see that. No, I'm sitting home all day.
400K of jewelry.
Jesus, that's a lot. Cancel PP. What did I do?
Wait,
thank-
what religion was
Let
it?
Chris
gamer?
go by himself.
Christian.
I traveled alone by force because of people. Bro, what? I was thinking of traveling alone, and then
Wait, do you think he was a Jew?
Look up.
I am a Jew. I was
Oh,
thinking
no,
of
no, I'm talking
traveling
about
alone.
Jimmy, 'cause he asked what religion
Wait, let
was
me.
it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Why are you saying? Stop saying sorry.
Because like
Yeah,
you guys
it's your
want to
stream.
talk. All right.
No,
Yeah.
so
All right. So
shut
shut up.
up,
Shut up.
Rosie.
Shut up. Rosie is just leaving. If the blue-eyed person is here, then they're also eating popcorn. Anyway, I travel alone by force because of PP. No, I was thinking of traveling alone, and then we were. I don't remember. That was still fun. I traveled with Chris across Europe. Liquided. That was fun. If PP streams, I'm gonna skip it to see Grinch. Nice. Is Jimmy gonna be the Grinch for Christmas? Probably. Indeed, I hope I can meet some. Where is that? Diego, just join any VC and I'll drag you in and give you the role.
The roll.
Yeah. All right, go ahead,
Yeah.
guys. Sorry. Roll.
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 To be honest, I actually thought Jimmy was playing because there's a guy named your boy Jimmy.
There's
Rosie
actually an
can't
amazing
roll.
artist named your boy Jimmy. We should
Yeah.
play a
Rosie
song.
Kick her out of the
can't roll.
VC.
Don't take her out of the BC.
Rosie's
Said
in the
VC.
VC.
Rosie
Oh,
is
they
in the
are.
basement.
Yeah, Rosie has
Oh, I
been.
Yeah,
didn't
she
know
been in
that.
here. She just quiet.
You just want
Hi.
0 lag. Do you guys want to play
Oh,
Jackbox?
sir.
Jack in the box? Am I eating Jack in the box?
Me fucking drunk Jackbox. That's dangerous.
No, I don't want to
to
get banned. It's okay.
No, 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 no. I,
We
I
can-
won't. I won't.
We can
I'll be
end
Raw.
stream
appropriate.
and then restart it and then just delete
Nah,
the
it's okay.
VOD.
I'll be appropriate. I'll be appropriate. I'll be on my best behavior.
Um,
Have I not been on my best behavior, Ping?
no, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
But I've been.
No, you've
TOS
been
a
good.
lot.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Rosie, you're making fun of all mutes in real life, okay? You're not actually
So, Jimmy, I
mute,
have a question. When you
unless
gonna
you
go
are.
back to Minecraft with
but
guns?
I don't think you are.
What's Minecraft with guns?
It's
you
a
think?
mod where you could play Minecraft.
No.
With
I just call that
guns.
Fortnite. I just call
Oh.
Fortnite with guns.
I play no build Fortnite. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
That's
I know
fun.
the
I'll play that.
I'll play it.
Oh,
my
that
God,
bomb.
fuck. I love no build Fortnite. It's
I'll play
very
it right
fun.
now
it
with
was
you
fine
and
until they added the drum shotgun. As an old Fortnite player, that's what I started off with, and then moved to Mario Kart because they had DLC coming
Bro,
When's the new fucking Mario Kart DLC coming? I need
True.
content.
next year.
Nobody
should
knows.
have came. It should have came this month, but next year.
Kasoa mod?
No.
What does that mean,
People
Rosie?
assumed it was gonna
Wait,
come
did you just
out
say next
this
year?
month.
Bro, you didn't
Did you just
finish?
say next
Wait,
year?
I didn't
It
finish
is
what?
coming out
Now.
next year.
No way, actually?
Yeah,
Wait, what
They
was
said
I
it.
saying, Chris?
That's fucking insane.
it's
Raw.
stupid.
Dude, I'm making a rant video.
Guys,
That's my
can you
content.
go?
No, Jimmy, we're lying. We're lying. We don't know.
Ah!
Wait,
Exactly.
Nobody
Commercial break.
knows.
who
Commercial
can't
break,
go?
Jimmy.
People automatically assumed that it was going to be like 3 months apart, when in actuality, Nintendo never released any dates besides the first date.
Thank you, BK, for doing your research and not talking
Also,
shit like
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
didn't you see the Nintendo Mini Direct?
I did, and I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Nothing on
because
there.
that's how you can know if Mario
story?
Kart was going to drop a new
Wait,
DLC
which
track.
story?
Well,
About us
I
in
know
Europe?
that. But they didn't have any news on it during that, sadly.
Also, have y'all seen the new trailer for like the Shazam movie? And
Nope.
Yeah.
I have to watch the first one still.
I think the first movie is very underrated. I think
I
it's a
still
very
have
good
to watch
movie.
it. No spoilers.
I won't spoil it. It's it's one of the better DC movies for sure. It's very funny. It's
Facts.
nice.
Wait,
but
go ahead.
the second one, I don't know. The second one looks okay. It didn't look bad. It didn't look amazing either. I'll see how it is. I thought it
I'm
was
just a
okay.
big fan of Shazam.
That's understandable.
Like, it's
Wait,
like
which
kids
story,
Shazam.
Chris? Say it. Go ahead, guys.
I'm more excited because I thought the Black Panther trailer looked a lot better than I thought it would look. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, cool.
The what?
The new Black Panther
Black
trailer.
Panther 2 is coming out in November
Yeah,
11th.
I think it's gonna be a
So
really
much
good
is
movie.
coming
It looks
out,
a lot
huh?
better.
How about
You know,
Avatar
like Marvel
2?
blew DC out the water.
I'm gonna see Avatar 2, okay? Like I know people are making fun of it, but like I don't know.
Are
I'm gonna
people
check it
making
out.
fun of it? I don't know.
They are, 'cause,
Oh,
like,
that's
it was
what
the
you
biggest movie
meant.
of all time.
Well, okay, guys. I was in Germany with my friend Liquidated in chat, and wait,
Oh,
Jail.
Jimmy passed me, and my finger was hurting. I needed surgery on it, so I took a plane back to Japan while he was there, and he was going to Amsterdam. Oh my god, it sucked. I wanted to go to Amsterdam with him. Bro, they don't care about the story.
I do.
Oh, gamer
I
cares.
do.
Oh, they care. I lied.
Hey, give at least story time before you go to sleep, man. Tell
What
story
story?
time
What do you
first.
want story? I don't know story time. Yeah, I got surgery in Japan. You want to see the finger? I'll show you guys the finger. Diego cares? Oh, so many people care. You guys can't tell the difference, but this finger is like it's still bumped up a bit. But damn,
okay,
everyone
kinda see it.
cares. I care. Hashtag I care.
Literally check Twitter right now. Hold on. Hold
Yeah,
on, let me
it's
check
better, but it's
Twitter.
still big. Couldn't you also just have had surgery in Germany? No, I was going to the doctor and like getting my I had health insurance for Japan. Good job. Good modding, Dinell. This is why BK will never be mod. What?
Wait, can we actually all go to Twitter?
Okay,
and see
on
hashtag
that
I
note,
care?
I'm gonna go be a good mom then and make my kids mac and cheese.
Wow.
Oh,
And you won't
the
you
mac
won't
and cheese.
you won't make me mac and
Oh,
cheese.
you
I'm
make
hungry.
it.
Can I answer?
I'm hungry.
BK, I think
I'm
we're all your
practically.
kids.
I
I'm
asked
practically a
Dinell.
child. I
I'm
need
asked
one. Goo
Dinell
goo
to make
gaga.
me food. He doesn't make me. Sorry, go ahead.
Ain't
Dinell,
gonna
can
lie,
you
mac
make
and
me
cheese with
grilled
Parmesan
cheese?
added to it is
It's
actually
so good. It's so good. How did the surgery go? It was really like okay. So I had to take sick days off of work to go to the hospital and stuff, or they call it the clinic to get checked or whatever. To get checked, not to get whatever. Like to to do all this stuff to check my finger. Yeah, I went to a general doctor. He recommended me to some other doctor who recommended me to some other place, and then I went to that third place, and I went in. I met some cool Japanese people who were probably dying in the hospital, and then I just I had the surgery. They put me under, so I literally went under, and then I woke up, and it was done. It was crazy, and it was pretty much recovered right away. Like, I had a non-cancerous tumor in my finger, so they basically cut my finger open, took out
I wonder how you got that.
yeah, they don't know the cause of it too. Like I was looking into it, but it's more common amongst men around my age range, whatever,
And Jews.
and probably Jews, and then
Probably sin too much.
probably. And they took
Man,
it
when
out.
you sin too much, just get a fucking tumor in your finger.
Yeah, they took it out, and then I felt better like right away. I was
Oh
so
my god.
I was such an asshole. I was so what's the word? You know when you're in pain and you just act like an asshole? I don't know.
Me every day.
Oh. I was like Jimmy,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Also,
I was in pain. That shit hurt a lot.
Yeah, because you sin. Of course it hurt.
Yeah. Irritable? Yeah, I was very irritable. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you see what I posted
Rosie.
in Liam, Liam picture chat?
Oh,
Him looking like
I need to check Liam's Discord more.
he looks the kid from Shazam too. Like the way how he grown up in the past 2 years, he looked like Liam. He could be.
Oh, he
his son.
does. He
You
does.
guys want to
I
see
can
a
see it.
picture of it? I am in pain. I'm doing the subathon, BK. What are you talking about? You guys want to see the picture? of
BK,
my-
how about you do a subathon, huh? Okay.
Yes.
You do? You
I
want
want
to
to
see
see a
it?
laggy subathon.
Wait, you guys want to see my finger? Like they took a picture. Okay.
Yes, I
let me
like
show you.
gore. I don't care about if it's like.
I don't know if
bleeding or
it's
some shit like
TOS,
that.
but
If,
when
it's
was-
if you're not sure, show it. Send it to me on like DMs.
no, it's okay. I'll just show it to everyone. I don't care. Was it 2020? What year was it? What year did we go, Chris?
Oh, shut up, BK.
How about you suck a cock? Yo, Cashew, you have
my
Mario
line.
Kart. Let's go. Join. That's my friend code. Hell yeah.
Why don't
Wait,
you
guys, I'll be
suck a
back. I'll be
cock?
back real quick. Don't start. Don't
Gotcha,
start.
Epikudo. Okay, we're not starting. I have to set up the camera. And 2019? Bro, are you
Bro.
stupid? Oh, yeah, it was 2019.
You're
yeah.
old. 2019 is so long ago. Holy crap.
I know. I was in Japan 2018 to 2020.
Damn, while you were in Japan, I was in college.
Yeah, you loser. Ah! Sorry.
I was in high school.
Well, high
Same.
school?
Wait,
What?
no, what year was it? What year was it?
2018 to
2018
2020?
to 20. Yeah.
Oh, I was in high school for the
What?
beginning of it.
How
and
old
college
am I?
at the end.
Oh! I feel
And
so cool.
2018 and 2019. I was
Wait,
in high
guys.
school.
Thank you for the bit, bro. I appreciate it. Sorry, I had to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I was in high school for a majority of that. 2018 and 19.
Did you get left back?
No,
Oh, okay. Wait,
And
how
then,
old are you again?
Jimmy is young,
I'm
bro.
21.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's not that big of a difference, honestly.
Yeah.
See, Cashew was a senior.
A senior citizen.
Yeah.
He was a senior in middle school, bro. No, Cashew is around the same age as you.
Also a good
I'm a
streamer.
senior. Yeah, well, you're 69, Jimmy. That's different.
No, I'm
Oh
actually
yeah,
20.
Jimmy 69.
Rosie, you're going to college, right? Like what, in a year or two?
College, extra school.
College sucks. College is awful.
College is okay.
Yeah, I'm about to become a senior. Oh god.
Wait, I can't find the gory pic. What month was it? 2018?
Aren't you like a senior too now?
Are you sure we went 2018,
What?
Oh,
bro?
no, Dinel's older than me.
Oh, 2019.
In 2018, I graduated. So
Oh, I graduated 2015 from high school.
I graduated from high
Wait,
school
from high
2019.
school? Wait,
BK?
what?
when did you
Yeah,
graduate?
2019 I graduated high school.
That sounds
Oh yeah,
crazy.
she went to make mac and cheese.
Yeah, but she doesn't make for us. Fascist.
Yeah,
Fascist.
I
kinda
guess
fucked up.
my
It
birthday's
is.
in September, so I was one of the older people in the grade, I guess. But yeah.
Everybody.
Wait, if it's
she
in
said
September, why
it.
not host a why not host like, host a
2007.
subathon then?
How is that the
During
best year? 2007 and 2008 was financial crisis where a lot of people lost their jobs. Wow,
Kokomo
BK.
was vibing.
Yeah, she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
Fucking
Where is
market might
that?
have been crashing, but the music was slapping. Let's
Where
go.
is my finger?
You had Usher.
I can't find my finger.
California Girls. Was
No,
that
that was all 2010, dude.
2010?
Yeah, 2007 was like different.
2027. What happened in 2007 that's good then?
Uh,
Actually, not even not gonna look
Other
it up.
than the financial crisis.
Hold
Oh,
on,
BK was vibing. What do you mean?
I was vibing.
And Chimmy was getting
Oh,
free coffee at a lot of places. Oh no, he does
What's
right
into
now
that?
because
I
he's a
mean, she
senior.
is a grandma, so she is.
How does he
old. She
do
like,
it?
What, 32?
Yeah, she's actually 37, but she lies to everyone.
Oh, it's because he's a senior.
Yeah. You actually believe you were like, well, bro, where is
How
this?
does he do?
Where is this? I cannot find my finger. I really want to show
2007,
you
I
my
cranked
finger.
that Soldier Boy.
Hey, maybe it was the best year.
You sure? I need to see a Crank That Soldier Boy on stream, Jimbo.
I want to travel again.
yeah,
I miss traveling. Oh, I found my finger.
Job.
Guys.
Also,
if
it's
you
so
get-
much better content for you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
If you guys, if Ping gets drunk, then you need to play a game along
Yeah,
with Ping.
Janelle.
Okay, so if Ping gets drunk on stream, every time Ping mentions Japan, you have to take a shot, chat.
Japan, 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 Japan. All right. Oh, I almost doxed myself because it says my name in Japanese, but no one's gonna read that, right? All right.
I'll read it.
No one
Google
will be able
Translate.
to. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yes.
This is my finger.
Honestly, I wouldn't
See
risk
that?
it. To be honest.
Ain't
No,
that
I'm not
bad. I'm
doxing
taking
myself.
I'm taking a screenshot.
Oh
of
my
that. I'm taking
god!
a
Oh my
screenshot.
god! Oh my god! Oh, that's not serious, is it? That can't be.
I'm taking
Oh
a
my God.
screenshot of that, man.
Fuck, dude.
That's it.
That ain't-
No more.
Move it. Move,
no
move
more.
the chat, man.
That is disgusting.
That's my finger.
There's
Did
no
you
way
see the
that's allowed
hole?
on Twitch.
That was
Yeah,
a
and
hole.
I got a
No
screenshot of
shot.
it too.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's so interesting,
hurt.
right, Rosie?
Uh,
Correct. That is interesting. You see, Rosie. You see, you
That's
know,
disgusting.
when you're going into science and doctor-related stuff, and you say that's interesting, that's a good thing.
There's all, yeah.
Oh, someone put Soldier Boy.
Wait, can you show us again?
Janelle.
Yeah, it's banned. No, I'm not showing it again. So
You
basically,
should put,
wait,
you
let
should
me.
put educational in your streams.
I
just so-
should. So there was
It
there
is
was
educational.
there was a nidus, which
know.
was a small ball basically in my finger, and they basically opened up my finger, took out that ball, and then stitched my finger back up. And my finger still hasn't gone back to regular, so I don't know. The PayPal tip receipts, true. I need to delete that message. I need to fix that. I don't know how to fix that.
I think that only doxes
Thanks,
the
Tuna.
person that sent
Sorry,
it.
Jimmy.
Does it
You
only
said
dox
so.
the person who sends it?
Wait, let me double check.
No,
Let me
no.
double check.
Me and Jimmy figured out.
I don't care if people know my name. I just don't want people to find my parents' house
It's
and like
written
their
out.
information. That's what I don't care about.
So you
That's
know
what
you
I care
find
about.
somebody with FBI technology. It figures out your
Yeah.
IP.
Was it? I think it was mostly build up. I wanted to
think,
eat. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I got it free then too because I stole it. Well, if you're a senior, you could steal stuff.
Oh,
All right, you want to
Ain't
come
saying
over?
it.
Come over, bro. Probably need to make a fake ass name.
yeah.
Me.
You can do a nickname. You can do a name change. It just like it's kind of complicated.
On PayPal?
Over on September.
Yeah,
I'm going.
on PayPal.
I'm going. I'm going to New York on September. So,
You should come to Boston as well on your way around.
dude, you.
Don't y'all
I
come
looked
down
up.
to the south,
I looked-
buckos. Come down to Texas, okay?
You
I
live in
looked up
Texas,
how
gamer?
far Boston is
Yes.
from New York.
Oh shit.
It's really close.
you think I say
should
howdy
come
a lot?
over.
Oh, I've skinned and cut open a cat before for anatomy, and that was bad. The smell. All I have to do is reverse the hash and cross. Don't tell them, Chimmy. Don't tell them. Honestly, I honestly don't care. Like, don't. Again, the only thing I care about is like family
Find your
stuff.
address and all
Because
that.
I have nothing to hide. I like my socials. I don't have anything to hide really. There's-
I think I got to hide my
Oh,
name. I ain't
John.
exposing that.
I know your name because you sent a tip on PayPal.
PayPal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we ain't saying that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything.
That's
It's
it.
like how I'm keeping my face hidden. Like if there's even a meetup, yes, Jimmy, I said this before. If there's a meetup, I'm like legit coming up in a mask like Kakashi.
What's Alien?
Wait, does anyone know the movie Alien? I've
Yeah.
heard
One.
of it. Rosie watched it like
There's a lot
5
of-
times.
Oh, that's
There's
a
a
good
lot of
movie.
alien movies, man. Like what?
Jimmy.
Parasite. Like what's it?
I still have to
Dang, you
watch
should play
Parasite.
Alien
Par-
Isolation.
Parasite's
Nah, it's
definitely not
okay,
an
bro.
alien movie.
Jimmy, did you see the stream where
The
The
one
Ping
where like the alien comes through somebody's stomach during like the like
Oh,
lunch.
that's the original Alien.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it the
that's-
original? Oh,
Yeah, that's
above,
the
it's not his
original, where
stomach.
where the guy comes from his stomach or
It
somewhere.
was through his rib cage. Rosie knows the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
so
First
well.
one.
I haven't seen it since high school, but it's a classic movie.
Like
It's a
I'm
good
young,
one.
but I know a lot of old stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Young with an old soul. That's why like I'm the one kid that likes to play OG games, like retro games.
Yeah,
Like what?
but
I
Super
enjoy
Mario
them.
World, Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite Super
Dude,
Mario
those came
game.
out last year.
Shut
No,
the
no.
fuck up, Dino. You got
And I'm waiting for like when Nintendo's gonna drop GameCube games like for Switch.
Oh,
No,
that'd
for
be cool.
real.
That would be
like,
cool.
We need like Double Dash with like some online servers.
Wait, what? It's where that Mexican dude has to sneak his family into Texas? Is that a thing?
The movie Alien. Are you
Is that-
kidding me?
Wait, is that true?
Jimmy.
Is that true?
It's okay, guys. He's Mexican.
Yeah,
Make
no,
this
no,
thing.
it is true. The movie's called Alien Immigration. It's very nice.
Technically,
God.
Oh, I get it. That took me a while to get. You see, I don't have a messed up head like you guys.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I do. I don't know why I didn't get that one. That was good.
that was a great one.
That was
He
good.
needs a promotion.
Yeah. But is Florida or Texas better? Probably Texas because it's bigger, right?
They both,
Probably-
they both
hey,
suck,
shut up,
but-
Jimmy. Shut up, Jimmy. I'm the expert
Wow.
here. I live in Texas. Shut up.
Okay.
Damn,
I'm
it's
from
so
Texas. Here's the thing.
racist.
Oh no. What you mean racist?
I
I live
don't
in
know.
Texas. I know how it is.
I'm just saying stuff, bro.
How many
Here's the thing
Mexicans
about-
do you see?
Think about Texas. It's
What
hot as
the-
fuck.
You know,
What I
there's
mean
a
is
lot
hot
of
as fuck.
Mexican viewers here, and I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Oh, here's the thing about Texas. It's hot as fuck, man. Like,
That's what I
I
hear
mean, when
too.
like
yeah.
the freeze, it's hardly snowing over here.
How am I first place every? Am I a god when I drink? I don't get it.
Oh, because people are fucking me up, and I'm getting fucked up from
Oh.
like, this faker Jimmy or so, or I don't know.
In my opinion, though, like Texas and Florida, it's filled with a lot of terrible people, but at least Florida has Disney
What?
World and Universal.
But Texas has
Jimmy?
gamer.
No, but the majority of Texans suck.
So you know, BK used to live in Texas, right?
I know, but BK's. I mean,
You know,
I'm not
Chronic
saying-
lives in Texas.
No, I'm not saying.
You
like,
know,
you're
my
saying all these
grandma. My
people are
grandma
terrible.
lives
All
in
you guys
Texas,
are
bro.
like-
I came from Texas.
Listen,
Bro,
straight
Jesus
up,
was
saying that
born in
gamer's
Texas.
all you are chill. I'm just saying, there's a majority of people
Oh,
that live in
if I'm chill,
Texas.
then
I don't
okay.
think majority anywhere is bad, unless like North Korea. But that's because they're brainwashed. So I don't know.
Fine, then the Texas government is without a doubt the worst in the
Excuse
country.
me.
There you go.
I agree
Ooh,
to that.
politics, politics. I don't know
Well,
enough to say
Texas.
anything.
His porn taste is terrible.
100%. Fuck Ted
It ain't
Cruz.
retro unless you entered the game title and DOS with a floppy disk. You are 69, bro.
I have a Nintendo 64 in my closet. Yes. Okay, send the picture in ping chat so then he can show it to stream.
It probably
I
depends.
actually got a Nintendo 64 when I was.
Oh yeah, I
Should
saw
I-
you.
should
You
I do it,
gamer has a lot of retro stuff actually. Yeah.
I used to be
um,
into retro games like early high school, and it's a really fun time. And 64 is a great console.
I got
have
into retro games like you know like back then on the Wii, like what's it called, like WiiWare or some shit like that.
I grew up with the Wii, and Wii
Yeah, that was the
Sports
first thing I
played
grew
it
up
on
with. My
fucking-
uncle got me into Mario Kart with Mario Kart Wii.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Now look at me.
Yeah, I grew up with Wii, Mario Kart.
I
had
so-
got into Mario Kart with Mario Kart DS actually. And that
Oh
was-
yeah, DS actually. Wait, I
Well,
completely
DS is
forgot about
crazy.
that.
I spent so many hours on that fucking game as a
Hey
kid.
Jimmy,
I
when a
played-
Mario Kart tour stream? I'm just asking.
I'm not a big fan of Mario Kart Tour. I'm not gonna lie. I know I get if you like it because they put a lot of content into it. It's just I don't know. I'm not the biggest.
How
fan
you
of the
feel if I
controls
told you
and
it's
stuff.
the one way how I cannot play 200 like because of the paywall?
Oh, there's a paywall in that
I
game?
think that's great, but I still I didn't play it because I'm just not the biggest fan. I don't know.
Grew up
I'd
with a
rather spend my
PS1.
credit.
Never got any Nintendo shit until I met my buddies. Oh, nice. Yeah, I never got into. Wait. So I played a lot of games with family and stuff, like with the Wii Sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also had the original Xbox and
Yo, 360.
some other stuff.
Those were
but-
the days.
Same.
Right?
We're
Bro,
good
you're,
at
ah,
PlayStation.
the gamer.
Gamer, your mic.
Your mic
mic.
is in rent robot mode again.
Fix that.
Plug that back in.
Okay, how about now? How about now?
Now you're good.
You're
Now you're
fine
good.
now.
I've been playing way before the console ever came out.
I legit stopped to fix it. I'm good. I'm good.
You're good.
But Red Ring of Death for Xbox 360. That's why I
True.
fuck with PlayStation.
I don't think I've
Plus
ever gotten.
batteries.
I never
I
got
no,
it.
I've never gotten it because I never put my Xbox like surrounded by 4 walls. Like everyone I knew who did that got the red ring. It's like no shit. It has no circulation. But I don't know.
And then also here's the thing: batteries. Who's gonna buy batteries per second? Like whenever it
Batteries?
dies. Yeah.
Just buy the rechargeable batteries.
Oh. No, there were no rechargeable back then. I don't think so, at
Really?
least.
Yeah, there were.
I don't
could-
think so. were there?
Rechargeable batteries always existed. It's like
Oh.
2005.
Yeah.
Oh, never
Look it
mind
up.
then. Wait, 2005. Bro, you're young. I'm talking about 1995, bro.
Wait, were you born in
Oh.
1995, Ping?
I was born in 97.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are all
2 years apart.
2000 babies.
No,
Oh!
I'm
Yeah.
99.
I'm
Oh,
2000.
nice. That's why you're a mod.
Yo.
Unmod
Unmod doctor.
anyone born under 2000. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wait, that's actually all the rest of my mods except
That's
you know.
actually my whole siblings except for my older brother.
Nice.
No,
I still have to put
It
set
starts
up
with my older
foot cam.
sister. She's at 2000.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to go for a little bit. I
Wait.
might be back though.
Okay. See ya, bro.
Uh,
So that was you playing Mario Kart, you little liar.
That was me. Yeah, I was playing Minecraft the whole time.
And I was
alright.
kicking your ass. And you kind of improved. I'm just saying, you kind of improved.
Well, my Joy Cons are broken.
Oh yeah, his
so-
Joy-Cons
Yeah,
are broken.
Yeah,
He's
but
good.
It's okay. I'm trying my best.
Hey,
with it.
Jimmy. Hey.
Well,
if
I'm
it makes you
reading-
feel better. I actually have drifted Joy-Cons, and I've still been playing with them broke. But that's how I changed the Pro Controller.
Nice.
Yeah, Pro Controller is
It,
great.
it helps if you have smart steering, because then that fights back the drift.
All right, I want to talk to chat.
Okay.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Hi, Jimmy.
Thanks for the alert, Epicuro. SNES, etc. Afterwards, but growing up, PS1, PS2, Xbox 360, nice. 360 was the GOAT, right? I miss Wii Sport. Yeah, Switch Sports doesn't even have ping pong. Wii Sports had ping pong, baby. Or something on Wii had ping pong. I've been playing Wii
Those
before the...
tennis.
No, they had ping pong on some console.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, because I
I
played
really
it.
like the Resport Resort.
Maybe. Sam says 96. I'm 95. You got a 4-foot cord and you liked it. Yeah, exactly. He's even because he's scared of me. True. Cashew, you're scary. Never know pain like your brother tripping over your controller cord and pulling down the 45-pound TV. Remember when TVs were like fat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now I
Um,
have like a 40 or like 50 or something inch TV in my room.
It's crazy. Damn, I fixed them Joy-Cons. Can I get a replacement stick? Bro, honestly, Switch, I'm not gonna lie, Switch controllers suck ass. Like, it's actually shit. I mean, it's
True.
nice when you're traveling, and I thought not many people use it when traveling, but I looked it up because I was wrong in some argument. I looked it up, and they were right. A lot of people do
Me.
use it to travel. Was it with you when I was talking to you about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but still, they're so ass.
But
I
you
mean-
know you can use like it's better if you use a PlayStation controller. Like PS5 controller can connect.
You could
to
connect
Switch.
it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, then, well, if you
Well,
have a
ping,
PlayStation.
ping.
Mhm.
I've never had that problem where like my controllers are messed up. All of mine are fine.
Hmm. I don't know. I know a
So
lot
I think
of
it
people who
depends
have
on the
that.
user.
Maybe, but I've
Me
never
and
had.
user.
But I feel like I know people who have had that problem, but they don't have that problem with other controllers, and it's the same for me.
I don't have. Well, I don't have any. I've had the control. Blah, blah, blah. I've had that problem with Xbox.
Oh, interesting.
So
And PlayStation 2, PlayStation.
I've never had with a different controller, only Switch controller, and people I know too. But maybe it's not as big of a problem as I thought.
maybe I've heard they've tried and fixed it.
Yeah, maybe people
Um,
are just going. Maybe we're just going crazy, like pressing everything. Switch tried to save that money on the controller, possibly, or maybe they just couldn't make a device that like is handheld and console that's like good enough controller. I don't know. Never had siblings, but my parents were dumb enough to do that and blamed me. Switch tried to. It would have cost 12 cents to. Yeah, thank you. 12 cents to use a Hall effect sensor instead of what the Joy-Cons use. Oh, I don't know that stuff, but I believe you.
BRB.
All right. We have
So
9.5 hours. Jesus.
For me, oh, is that Jimmy?
No. Go ahead. For you?
For me, like for Switch, it was basically me and Smash Bros that messed it up.
Yeah, that makes
'Cause
sense.
I play King K. Rool, as y'all know, and I go to town dunking on people.
Nice. Well, I'll be right. You should
That's
verse my
mainly-
brother. He's mad good at Smash. All right, I'll be right back though.
Rush, run, hurry, go super speed.
Monkey do bad.
Damn.
Monkey
Now,
do
ain't
very
this the
bad.
longest you ever streamed in? Like, well, the longest you haven't streamed for? I think that was him that left. Pink Stream, how y'all doing? How y'all day been? Before I get lagged out from Ping, you not hurrying up. Yeah, here comes the DC.
No communication error. I was gone too long.
I think if you had like auto accelerate, it could have helped.
My bad.
It's good. I think Danelle left the VC, if I'm correct.
Oh, he said he'll be back though. When there was basketball Wii Sport, ooh, bad monkey, my bad Diego. I rarely play my Switch, and mine still went out in a year. Damn. Yeah, from personal experience and people I know, it seems like it's bad, but I don't know the actual numbers on it. So, all right, I'm trying to set up the
Foot cam?
yeah, foot cam.
Yeah, show me them toes.
Shit. Where's my camera? There it is.
I'm sorry if my acting is kind of out of control. It's just that I kind of act like this when I'm on stream sometimes.
You're fine. Actually, I haven't used my
Just
Switch
trying to be
often.
that one funny guy.
But then I came back to Twitch. Hey, nice. Oh, you left? Were you on Twitch a lot, Rosie, and then you left it? Why is this not opening? Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, this camera turned off. Huh? Phone cam? Why isn't it working? It's not working. I don't want to put my actual phone. Oh, this is actually harder to set up than I thought it would be.
Might need like another camera.
Yeah, I'm using another phone as a camera, like an old, like an iPhone 5 or
Like,
something.
no, not like a phone. I'm saying like something else or so.
No.
Curious. Oh wait, 169. Hey.
Nice.
I'm curious. If you get timed out, does that like stop your hours or no?
No, it doesn't. So when it's just the bed,
Have it
go to
banned
joystick
or no?
calibration, and you can see the dot move. Yeah. Actually, no, I only got Twitch because of Liam. Really? Then I left Twitch gap year, and then this year came back. Oh, when you left for that gap year, were you following people, and you just like left like out of nowhere? Were you like talking a lot in chat? I'm just kind of curious. She's at 200 hours. I don't know, bro. All right, go ahead. What were we saying? Gamer? Well, I don't know what Wi-Fi. Okay, Gamer's not saying anything anymore. How is she at 200? I don't know. Did Jared fall asleep or he left? Oh, he left. Let's see if this works now. I connected to a different Wi-Fi. Sometimes it has to be on the same Wi-Fi. That's why.
What, on the same Wi-Fi?
Hey, the webcam. It's working. Or I think it's working.
She got banned. Would that like reset the hour then? No.
No. Why do you want to get banned?
No, because Nell is curious of how she's at 200 above me and me and him.
I don't know. I don't know how she is. When I left Twitch, oh nah, I was just following Liam and wasn't active at all. Oh, okay. I'm just curious. I only did it to give him follow to show my support. Oh, interesting. So now you're actually on Twitch, like, chilling. Yo, 52 hours? Sheesh! Yo, 38 hours? Sheesh! Any number is gonna be sheesh. Kind of. Yo, 107 hours? Sheesh! I think the most someone ever had was like 200 something, which was Nathan. But I could be wrong. Let me see. How do I... Why is it not showing up? It says, please start the webcam. Bruh. Bruh. I wanna show you guys my feet. I knew the item seemed a little too crazy. Yeah, I put it on frantic. Yo, Symbol, what's up? Yeah, you're gifted subs. You could put more emotes now. How you doing, bro? Now I know that it's set to frantic. Yeah. Wait, what is your username in game? You're watching me, and I like it. I mean, what? It's not working with this iPhone. It's showing it on my screen, but it's not on this screen.
Are you like I'm confused. So how are you doing this? Cause like as you know, I use PlayStation to stream. So you like activate that phone to your Twitch or something?
Basically, I use a application that lets me use my phone as a webcam if I'm on the same Wi-Fi network, and that's how I use my phone as a webcam in the house. And then I use OBS to use different sources. OBS is the best if you're streaming and it's not off like PlayStation or whatever. Oh, Doctor's here? Or did someone name themselves Doctor?
No, I'm about to say he's in here, but here's the thing: I have OBS.
Hope he slept.
Random. My Chromebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to use it. I try to ask Nanel or BK. They haven't said nothing.
I could help you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, but you've been doing the Subathon.
Yeah, after the Subathon. Sorry.
Because I'm trying to get the sound alerts already set.
Mm-hmm. Furry, welcome back. Sorry. My user. Yeah, what's your username in the game? Peanut? It must be Peanut because you're Cashew. Unless it's not. Hey, yo. What? I like it, Rosie. Pink, guess what? Chicken butt? What, random? What? Sorry for eating you, Bowser. I changed my username so nobody... Hey, nice! I didn't even realize. I didn't get a good enough look because I'm playing Mario Kart. Oh my god, that looks so much better than Random Person 9. I like that so much more, to be honest. Nice. I don't know why.
This is actually Doctor. Bad for interrupting.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Damn, Cashew, you're good.
He's a fellow Shy Guy player. I like that. That's why I haven't bothered him. My bar made of red shells.
Yeah. Looks 10 times better. It looks so much better, Random. I like it. It looks like you're not a bot anymore. Not that you look too much like a bot, but a little bit.
I remember a time, I don't think you was around during this, but BK actually banned somebody off the spot because they said follow and they looked like a bot.
Yeah, sometimes I wait a little just to make sure because you never know, but yeah. No! Okay, I'm third. No, I'm fourth. The rocket passed me. I have a friend named Froggy Girl 10. Yeah, that sounds like a bot too. I like a lettered symbol. That sounds nice. But we're streaming 9 more hours. I gotta get this foot cam working, or else everyone's gonna get pissed off at me. But more electricity. Let me see.
Wait, for your nails, do you also have your sister do your toenails or no?
No,
So
I
it's
didn't do
just only you.
toenails. I didn't do toenails. Yeah, doctor is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was to do toenails. Maybe it will be a new sub goal. We'll see. Wherever have you been? We know where doctor's been.
Exactly.
What happened, Doc?
We know where the doctor's in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cray cray?
Insane.
Right? I can't believe he's here. He probably thought the stream was ending, so he came by. I was joking.
talking to him. I
Oh,
told
yeah?
him to go to sleep. Yeah. We were
Is he-
talking about how we were talking about Discord kittens. We were talking about
Discord
I
what?
Sleep.
think I know why. I think I know why.
Wait, Discord what?
He said Discord kittens.
Oh,
We
oh, like
were
gamer?
talking about Bean.
Bean. Oh,
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
okay.
It was fun.
He doesn't want to talk on stream, yeah?
How long has it been since he talked on stream?
A while.
Yesterday.
I'm just curious. Like a week or so? I don't know.
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? It felt like he been MIA.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, to me, my son. Oh. I went in the grass.
Goodbye.
I'm still new, by the way. I swear.
See you next time.
See you, random. Thanks for popping in
Yeah.
for a second. It's cool to see that you changed your name. He changed his name. I don't know if you saw.
Ooh.
Random person.
Random.
Random person 9 to random person. It actually looks so much cleaner. Yo, muscles. Thanks for the muscle. Honestly,
Ooh,
you guys are
Who's
so
lettuce?
lettuce.
Yeah.
Oh, in the game?
Lettered.
Oh, lettered. Lettered is in. Oh, he's playing with us.
Sound like you said Leonard.
No, in chat.
Yeah, lettered
said-
symbol. They're pretty new, but he came through before and he made a joke about how he misspelled something and it's like wow, and my name is lettered symbol or something. He came through a bit.
You put these on hard comms.
He
I've
got
never seen them.
yeah. I put.
And I'm
hard
always
comms.
here.
Oh
Facts.
well, you're not
Even though I
here
just
as
leave my
much.
computer on.
You're not here as much as I am.
True.
I see
Do you
everyone.
put these on hard comms ping or no?
These are hard comms, yeah.
Because this lightning is too frequent.
I don't know how I'm playing so good like now. Never mind, I take it all back. I have no NSO. What does NSO mean? I think he got a gifted sub from you, Dino.
I've gifted so many subs. I don't know.
Exactly.
Fair.
Like you might not eat tomorrow. Oh no, dude.
Nah, he's fine.
I already don't eat. I'm like
You're
starving
skinny,
myself for
bro.
pain. I am skinny. I eat plenty.
Same.
I'm
Well,
healthy.
I only eat once or 2 times a day.
Welcome
Well,
back,
that's true.
lady.
I do eat 2 times a day.
I eat 2 times
Well,
a day too.
that's personal choice.
Well, I
'cause
technically
I
eat 3
don't wanna.
times, but since I started the subathon, I've been eating 2 times.
I eat a morning snack and then I eat my lunch and then I get home and I eat my lunch. So a snack in the morning, like a banana and yogurt
Oh, that's
or
nice.
something like that. Nothing, not a meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to sleep and do the same shit.
Reminder to subscribe and keep this man on stream and in a hostage like. I mean, we got 9 hours, and when I sleep, the timer is paused, so we're good for some time. What's up, Timmy? How you doing? NSO is Nintendo Switch Online. Thank you, Furry. Bless you.
Achoo.
That was fake.
Sorry, I'm allergic to people who ain't subscribed.
Wherever have you been, Doctor? Did someone change their name to Doctor? Like I'm never here. Hey, Doctor! I didn't even see that message. My bad. Where's TTS and channel points? I don't know. I just gotta scroll. 220 points or something. I don't remember. You went? How was your bath? How's your bath, lady? Maybe I shouldn't ask that. It's not nice. But you told me you had a bath. So when's the next course pass coming out? Next year, apparently. I don't know. That's what they were saying before. And I'm gonna get a little snack and sleep in a bit. All right. Thanks for the lurk, bro.
Also, I saw a BK text. You think she's gonna bring us some mac and cheese back?
Yeah, I think she'll bring some mac. I had mac and cheese the other day. Sorry,
She better bring
Gino.
some mac and cheese.
I don't know how you got hit, even though you had 3 bananas.
I didn't.
It's
Oh.
like natural. Natural is when you get hit for something like.
No, he
but
said
you don't
he
even know
didn't.
how.
He didn't get hit.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, lateral.
Oh. It was
That's the
nice?
thing,
What?
like-
Nice. I want to have a bath.
Lateral.
I haven't had a bath since I was throwing up from drinking too much like 2 weeks ago, but I don't take that many baths. In Japan, I used to
who's
take
the
so many
first?
baths. I don't know. Do you know?
That's strange.
Nitro cold brew? JK. Wicka wah wah. Ooh, this song sounds mad nice. Yo, BK brought back for everyone that's not a gamer. Thank you.
Wow.
I appreciate the mac and cheese.
Kind of hatred.
Hmm.
Gartic.
Am
I
I
guess
the
I
o-
gotta use it like some thunderbolts in her like stream because that's her weakness.
Oh, the song sounds so nice. Woo! Who put this song on? Rosie. I'm gonna guess Rosie.
What song is it?
I'm
don't-
guessing Chimmy.
I would guess Chimmy, but it
Yep.
sounds more rap. Oh, okay, never mind. Will Smith.
I've
I-
noticed that if you like the song, it's Chimmy.
I do like a lot of his songs. Nice notice. Wild Wild West. Wait, Will Smith actually makes good music?
Does?
Dude, have you not heard Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Well, I knew that, but why he made that song?
Everybody knows that.
Did he make
Everybody
that
knew that.
song? Probably not, right? BK's mac and cheese, best mac and cheese? My mom's is
Nah, it's
better,
probably too
but
wet.
I like it wet, so it's
Yo,
okay.
No BK slander here.
She just landed
Gets
to me.
banned.
Well, that's different.
Plus
Nah,
sleep.
nah. Equality, bucko.
Oh, the song sounds nice. What did I want to say? He did. He made the song for his movie Wild Wild West. Did he act? Damn, I gotta start following Will Smith on Spotify. But I don't want to follow him IRL. I don't want to get slapped in the face. He's crazy. What mood are you in? I'm feeling good. A bit worried. A bit annoyed that I didn't figure out the foot cam yet. And just thinking about how I'm gonna pause stream in like 40 minutes to say happy birthday to my brother. That's about it. That's how
Yeah,
I'm
it's
feeling.
12.
I'm feeling good.
Wait.
Your mic.
I'm feeling good. I always like funky music. I didn't know he made the French Prince song too. That's crazy. See you, furry. Bye bye. Do it on stream. He doesn't like being
Do
on
what?
stream.
Oh.
I do like funky music. I like some of your songs too, Rosie. I don't like
Dude,
rap
I got
too
a
often,
funky
but I
song
like
for
yours.
you.
All right, put it.
I have a lot of music that I like to play, and I will drop it in chat, but I don't know if it will get allowed because some of them have the N word.
If it's
Like-
N-word without hard R, then it's fine. Unless it's like spammed like 20 times in a row.
Stop snitching.
Huh?
You never heard of Stop Snitching?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's by YG and the Baby. Alright, I'm not trying to be racist or anything here, but like
Wow.
just because of my race as being no, I'm
Oh.
saying it this as facts. Just because of my race as black, like you don't hear the word being said that much, but once you're like a different race, you'll hear it and be like, "Whoa, why is this playing in my chat?" That's why I don't post that much music.
No, I don't. It's sometimes, yeah, I do feel a little weird, but sometimes it's okay. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
from.
and I'm like, sometimes I have to listen to the stream and video and see
Liam,
if this is fight.
you missed
Right.
Jimmy.
Yo, Liam, you missed
What's up,
Jimmy
kids? Front of them.
and Jared.
Yeah, you missed Jimmy and Jared. They were drunk and saying a bunch of shit.
It was
I
pretty
just
It was
realized
fun.
I had
funny.
a star in
Yeah.
first. How?
There
It
was
was
a whole
so
thing.
funny.
It was great.
We had BK, Jimmy, Jared.
Why
It
don't
was-
you get your cheeks in here?
You don't have to.
Yes, he does. Do it.
No, you don't. I mean, yes, you do. I saw him in the cool, but I had to do some cleaning. Damn, you should have cleaned his mouth, bro. You hear how often he curses? Damn. Jimmy, he's
Hey,
crazy.
hey,
That Italian.
I thought you were about talking about me because I know I had to get the cursing down. That's why I'm gonna have a channel port redeem. Stop
You
the cursing
honestly
game.
don't curse
You
that
don't.
much.
Yeah, you don't curse that much. You're fine.
Oh, y'all don't see it in my streams.
Well, here
No,
you're
like-
you're good.
Yeah, honestly, I thought you would be worse.
Oh, trust me, I am worth. When I
Like
act like
Ji-
I'm streaming when I play Mario Kart back then, like in like Jimmy streams, like anytime I got hit by a rush, I'm like, fuck, motherfucker.
Well, that's on your personal life too. Like you can say whatever you want when you're not on camera or recording.
True. Yeah, you could say.
Mhm.
You can even say chimichangas.
True.
That's a
Chimichangas.
Deadpool thing.
All right, let me reach out.
Chimichangas?
Chimichangas?
Yes. That's a Deadpool
No,
thing.
that's chimichangas. Dude,
It's
honestly, that has so many layers. Jimmy's name,
It's so
chimichangas,
good.
If he likes
Also-
Jimmy, do you like chimichangas?
I think of course he likes it. He changed it to it.
I don't know, man.
Also, people say I curse like Deadpool or Samuel L. Jackson.
I like Samuel L. Jackson's okay.
He says too much.
I don't think he done good like in the movie because I can like in that like movie like that Samurai Dog movie or so. I've been seeing a lot on Instagram. Like I see the trailer so much and it kind of gets annoying. Like he says, "What the mother or father cocker spaniel is going on here?" You know damn well he wanted to curse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was yeah, for sure. Samuel L. Jackson likes cursing. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was written by Quincy Adams and Will Smith, and Will Smith's stage name was indeed the Fresh Prince. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. I think Val can beat me in any other game, but Tricky, I won't lie. What kind of question? Yeah, of course he loves chimichangas. Why do you think he's changed it to that? This sounds like... Hey, I gotta listen to more Will Smith. I never thought I would say that.
The Fresh Prince. We gotta. Let me hear this.
It sounds catchy. It sounds like the Fresh Prince. Sounds mad catchy. What is Tricky Towers? I saw your going live notification, but I was like, what is Tricky Towers?
Huh. It sounds like what people think rap sounds like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen Gravity Falls?
Nope.
Like the way that
Come on, Danelle.
anyways.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's an asshole move. I won't lie, that
Uh.
would be a good song for like Ping, like if he reached 1,000 or like followers. Have that playing for his like every single moment that he did in his stream, like a flashback.
Flashback. Do you guys know Flashpoint? Sorry, go ahead, Dino. What were we talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot.
Flashpoint.
To
You
be
talking about
honest.
you
Gamer
talking
made me
about
forget.
my bad. It was about Gravity Falls.
Mm.
What was he gonna say? So the creator of Gravity Falls is Alex Hirsch, and he
Alex
likes
Jones.
to
I'm
talk.
sorry.
Alex Hirsch. Stop paying. Come on.
All
All right. You know what? I'll be
No,
quiet.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
No,
You
I
go.
feel bad. No, go ahead.
You feel like it's your stream. You gotta
N-
talk the most.
No.
You gotta interrupt other people. But when people interrupt you, you get fucking pissy.
Hey, you might get him on it. Just saying.
Your mic, bro. No, go ahead. I just don't want to ignore chat. That's my biggest thing.
I forgot, bro. I don't remember.
Aw.
I was just trying to push it back to you. This fucking donut.
Yeah, the donut's funny. Alec Jones getting sued. He is? I'm so tired and it's
For
not even...
what?
I'm tired too. You know why you're tired, BK? Because of my awesome vibes that are making you tired? Because it's just... I don't know, for what?
Want to go to Jackbox? I'm tired of Mario Party.
I'm tired
mean,
of
Kart.
Mario Kart as well.
We should play Mario. Your mic.
Bro, it's so funny how you stop midway and you're like, your mic. Yeah, we should play Mario Party, you're gonna say?
We should play Mario Party.
Yeah, if we have the
I
people.
haven't played that in a minute.
Oh, that was so good. Whoever's in third place. That was sexy how I passed you. He collabed with Freddy Krueger. Gravity Falls is amazeballs. I hate that I fixed my sleep schedule. I'm so tired. It's not even midnight. I'm getting tired too. Look at me fixing everyone's sleep schedule. What?
You guys
Well, not
want to play Mario
everyone's.
Party tonight?
No.
No.
You need Doctor in here so you can
We-
get tired.
We do this like it's like Ninjala. Can we at least play Ninjala? It's free.
Not
like,
right
oh.
now.
It's whatever the people's in the mood. Not what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's because I'm getting up at decent hours and not 3 p.m. Let's go. Mario Party is so fun. Mario Party for tomorrow's game. Yeah, I'm pretty tired right now. Mario Party is so draining.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
but-
Besides, you ruin friendships a lot.
Yeah, nah,
Um,
it's not like a Monopoly, but what about the person in 9th place? Was that you, Keshu? Let's
It's
go.
Monopoly.
Oh, I like this song. Dinell showed me this
What?
song, I think.
What, the one I posted?
No, the one he probably posted. Yeah.
I told you you would like it. It's
I do like
funky.
it. Yeah, you showed it to me a bunch before. I already
Yeah.
know this song is like one of the songs I like, you know what I mean?
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Twice
It's like
song.
one of those good songs that you be vibing to. and
We
dancing
stand
to.
Twice.
Twice
Liam,
is-
who do you stand?
He
Who
said
do
he
you
loves
stand?
Twice.
Only one right answer, in my opinion.
Ping Pong
Stand,
Masters.
like as JoJo stand.
No. It's like who you're like simping over, kinda. I love Twice. They're so good. I didn't even know Twice was good until Dinell started putting their music. I knew
Great.
that so many Japanese kids loved them, and so I would just pretend that one of them was my girlfriend, but that's about it.
Momo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We should, and Rosie, we will, cause that's really fun to do. I really like reacting to the videos, like Jubilee and stuff. You know?
I still gotta figure out how to make a VOD into a video.
Yeah.
You need a good computer for editing.
I have a computer for editing. It's the Chromebook. How do you think I edit those Mario
Ooh.
Kart videos?
That's harsh. A Chromebook is harsh.
How the
There's
hell
a
did
lot-
I get 6 mushrooms?
That's good. We're so far ahead
That's
that you got
lucky.
6 mushrooms.
And I got them in 6th place.
TTS, where's TTS? I don't know. TTS should be there. Does no one see TTS? TTS?
Matisse?
Oh, I might have turned it off and forgotten to put it back on. Oh, if that happens, I'm sorry, bro. But I thought I put it back on.
How the hell did I get it?
I went into the grass.
18 mushrooms.
I would have passed Doctor. I went into the grass. TTS is missing? No, I'm an idiot. I thought I put it back on this morning. I
Why'd you
didn't.
take it off?
I take it off at nighttime so it doesn't get spammed for people who are just chilling and listening to lo-fi music. I don't know. Should I just leave it?
Mm. Just
We're
leave it off.
taking it off.
I feel like
Turn it
random
off.
has.
Can't you turn it off like during night? Like, ain't there a button for it, or you just have to actually take it off?
I have an application, a third-party app to like use channel points and stuff. I have a whole system for my streaming setup. It's a lot of moving parts that sometimes
It's like
don't
the
move.
Matrix, that Cyberpoint or Cybertron shit.
It's
I
just
stand Momo.
Momo, yeah, Momo, because she's
Momo.
She's the only one that's Japanese, right?
She's the cutest one in my opinion.
And she's Japanese.
Yeah, I didn't know she was Japanese until I looked her up. I was like, "Who's the
Mhm.
cute one?" And I was like, "Oh,
The
this one,
Japanese.
Momo
Momo from what?
Twice.
from Twice."
Momo horror movie figure. Wait, is that a thing? Momo horror movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see how TTS
It's
is
like,
saying my
Jeff the
name
Killer,
now are
but
for
like-
Is it only like two song requests allowed at a time or what?
Yeah, per person.
yeah, two at a time, and then once one of yours gets played, you could put another one.
Okay.
they TTS could not say your name random. That was bad. Gamer, thanks for the boosts.
I didn't have no boost. Oh, you talking about spin boost?
I don't know. We were boosting each other, no?
No, I just siphoned off your mushroom.
I wasn't paying attention because I was reading chat. Bro, how am I playing so
Unless you're
good at
talking about
reading
the spin
chat?
boost.
Oh my god. He said person, but not random.
See, I'm siphoning off of you again.
You are. Good job.
I got double coin. This some bullshit. There's 6 mushrooms in 6th place. Now double coins in 2nd place.
Game is too easy. Where's Liam? I need some challenge. Doctor
Daily
and
recalls
Gamer
missing
suck now. I
butter.
don't know what happened to them.
Excuse me?
Or maybe I just got good. I don't know. I'm just
For
getting
really?
cocky, okay? I know I'm not that good.
That's the only reason why I bullied Jimmy. He got cocky. He beat me once, and I was like, okay, buddy. Okay.
Daily Woo. Thank you. Yeah, butter doesn't pop up here like at all. I shouldn't say at all, but she doesn't come by too often. I'm just assuming she does, like, she's
I
either
don't
busy
think she
or
knows you.
yeah, she doesn't, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't think she knows you exist. Period.
No, she came in here before. She probably didn't like the vibes or something. Right? Like,
Are we just only using mushrooms this whole race ping?
yeah, I put mushrooms only and I try to surprise everyone.
Oh, mushrooms only? That's why I've been getting nothing but mushrooms.
I forgot I
Wait.
put it. He
That makes
just reminded
sense.
me.
Explains why I got triple mushrooms in 6th place.
That makes a lot of sense. This is actually fun
It's
because it
different.
takes skill.
It feels like you're mad fast too, right?
Why TTS is
Yeah,
So
it
there.
makes
not,
the
not
races
unless
go
you want
fast.
200cc.
Goodbye.
See you, random, but I don't believe
Bye,
you.
random.
Bye.
Again. For the 20th time.
True.
Stream.
Are you annoyed? I'm not annoyed because I'm a streamer. I can't get annoyed.
Am I annoyed?
Yeah.
No, I just find it funny. He
Yeah, I
does it
find
so
it funny too. Butter was in Liam's stream yesterday. Shrug. It's okay. People like Butter and Bean, they don't like to be here. I don't blame them. Okay? I don't
I
like
mean,
to be
Bean
here.
doesn't pop.
I'm joking. What?
Bean tends to be more of a Discord nerd.
Gotcha.
She spends a lot of time on Discord.
Yeah, she was messaging on the Discord earlier, so that makes sense.
Still gotta fix up my Discord roles. Oh yeah, Ping, you gotta if you go into my chat on Twitch and type in your full name, just see what happens.
I don't want to type in my full name. Oh, like my gamer tag?
Yes.
Wait, after this game?
Yeah.
Streamers can get annoyed. No. Streamers are not allowed to get annoyed. What are you talking about, bro?
I've seen streamers annoyed.
Well, like
No way.
genuinely annoyed? No, it's
Really?
not a thing.
Nah, I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
like-
They're not
I've seen
allowed.
them
Probably
get
not.
annoyed, and they not
I-
Mario Kart streamers.
Ping Pong never gets annoyed.
I got annoyed
Because you-
No,
0 times. Yeah.
not zero, bro. No
Oh
way.
no, he doesn't get angered, and I know this for a fact. Cause one, he's never in one of my Mario Kart videos. You never see a clip of it, cause he know how to control
I've
his
seen
anger.
some of them.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
you
I'm
have.
saying you're
I
not
have.
in one of them.
Hey,
I've seen gamers' videos. Oh,
Gamer, you send him a video
You've
so
seen
that
them
we can
both. He
watch it.
commented on them.
yeah, I've seen
He
some of his
did.
videos. Yeah, he
I
like
don't
pisses
believe
off.
it.
He pisses off a bunch of streamers. Jimmy's in some of them. Some random streamers I don't
Liam.
know. Yeah, I've seen them.
Did you ever get a one of Liam?
2 of them.
Two of them. Two of them, not one, but two.
You ever get one of me?
Oh, cause you don't rage.
Let's go. I do rage sometimes, but
I don't see
I-
it.
not too often.
I've made him rage.
Have you?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean,
Like
we.
so far, one of my emotes is gonna be gamer rage of me, like my skin or aka my icon, having like a fire in his eye, and like with fire in the background possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Starters can do that. One of them is gonna be hot trash, like legit burning.
That's funny.
Another one is gonna be like, of course, I know Super Saiyan. To discuss, I'm stealing that from Liam. He can't get me for nothing for that.
All right, let me read chat for a second. Put new sub goal
How
up.
are you, gamer? By the way,
Fine, just a grind. The work to do.
you work at Subway, right?
Yeah.
Do you eat
Nice.
fresh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That one player from
Get
Mine
subs
Play.
for
Do you know Jared from Subway?
He don't work up there. He ain't no sponsor no more. Also, by the way, I don't even think none of y'all even seen the new menu up there at Subway.
What's new? They still have that tuna casserole thing?
No, I don't
No?
have it over here, man. Also, I'd seen a guy that looked just like Jimmy, except he had more freckles.
Freckles. Dude, you should look up what's his name, the Jewish streamer.
Oh my god. Yo, muscles.
Gooch.
Gooch. Bro, that guy is interesting.
He's that personality.
He is.
Liam, you gotta check him out. You guys have to check him out. Can I shout him out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout him out. It'll probably be a clip that gets me banned, but shout him out. I was joking.
You have clips on your stream?
Huh?
What's his name? Gooch?
Gooch Mucha or something? I'm not sure exactly. Wait, can I have a sub? Pepe Jam, kinda hungry. Oh, you put hats. Thank you. I did good this race. Let's go, Cashew. Craving their Subway protein bowl. That one Jewish streamer pink. Bro, you guys want to see something so funny? Well, even if you don't, I'll show it to you. Look at this. Yeah, Gooch Maluch, something like that. You know what? I'm gonna go on Twitch right now and look for him.
Why do I have captions playing for you on Twitch?
Where is Gooch?
He's not live.
Oh, here he is.
He-
Gooch Maluch 1. He is live.
Is he
he's
live?
not.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's not live. Wait, this is a different Gooch. Oh no, this is the Gooch, yeah. Giving away $10,000 if I get off before I win the game. Lol. Bro, this guy, he's Jewish. He looks like... Well, tell me what you guys think. Okay.
Well, hey Raiders.
Did I spell it wrong?
Wait, we have to steal this one.
Also, look at this craziness. I'm gonna press Fall Guys. Oh, you shouted him out? Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't work? He did speed dating on Discord, yeah. Somebody's watching me. I like the song. Alright, watch. If I type in Jewish, out of the thousands of people streaming Fall Guys, there's actually a couple. And that's how I find new people. I'm gonna make a Jewish mob. But yeah, Gooch
How we
is...
found Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Yeah, that's how we found him. He had a fake Jewish tag.
Did he actually?
No, I'm making this up.
I was like, I thought we
Imagine
found him
though.
through Jared.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, he did speed dating. I don't know. He's like an interesting guy. He was like twerking for us, giving him a hype train. You're gonna go
It
eat
was
and then go to
really
bed.
random.
All right. Good
Man,
night,
remember
Cashew.
Cliff?
I'm happy I was able to play with you, bro. But I'm
Yeah, those are
better.
good games, good
Yeah,
games.
just joking. He for real sus. He is a bit sus. He's. I don't know if he'll survive the Twitch culture. If you guys know what I mean. He's a bit much, but he's pretty chill.
He
Something
was
new.
he was interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up?
You know, Crash Bandicoot 4 just dropped on PlayStation Plus. What?
Sorry.